Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 134 of Unpaid and Underrated, the podcast about crew, for crew, by crew. And if it sounds funny for me to say that, it's because I didn't think I'd be doing the intro this week. I am Big Joey. I have been here for most of these episodes, and I am joined by Big Hogan
Howdy, howdy.
and Big Tyler
Hello.
and Big Tyler's cat. Two of them.
Yes.
Two cats, or is that the same cat making them?
Nope. I've got three of them, but two of them are tabby. You'll be able to tell them apart because one's got a tail and one does not.
Well, we just broke Murph's cat, apparently, by having cats on the podcast. Which, if there's anything I'm here to do, it's to make sure cats are really involved in our podcast. Obviously, we have a lot of people joining us. We are going to be doing some general topics, same as always, but we're also going to be announcing the winner from the Battle for the Breaker. We're going to have a little conversation about how those submissions went, how that looked, and then we'll be diving right into our guests. So, first and always first, guys, drinking anything different this week?
I think I have the same exact thing for my episode. Black raspberry LaCroix.
Big Tyler, what do you got?
I literally just have a giant water bottle, but it's got, look at that. It's a little Strength Co. I also have a little guy that says, I love Strength Co., but he doesn't look very happy.
No, Coop was not happy with his big, dumb, puffy coat. I'm drinking the Keith's. I've been on vacation all week, so I have not had the soberest of weeks. so we're taking it a little easy tonight. But beyond that, what shirts you guys wearing?
I got the High Bar t-shirt on today.
I have the Pursuit of Strength, which, as we all know, is my favorite, and I've been urging this to be a flag, but nobody pays attention to me. I still think this is one of the greatest designs they ever made. Hogan?
I have the coveted Battle for the Breaker windbreaker.
It's bespoke, I believe, at this rate. It's not even coveted. It's bespoke. Keith, what are you wearing?
I'm knocking out the unpaid and underrated T-shirt. It's the Amazon special.
It's the spirit. I got one of them. Mine's red though. I like my red shirts. All right. Blah 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 blah. Do you guys want to rate last week's episode? Coveted? Yeah, coveted, Sam. I don't know. You guys all say things weird. Oh no, I got a COVID flag from Big Jets. What do you guys want to do next?
I mean, I was going to rate the podcast. I think
Do
it was 5 out of 5. 5 Massonomics iPod touches. And those things are awesome in person.
Was that because the audio quality was so good? Is that why it was a 5 out of 5? Or was it the content?
It was really good. It was also just entertaining to listen to as well. They're just fun. I like the banter.
Sounds good.
I have not listened to more than 30 seconds of it because I put it on in the car and couldn't hear shit.
Yeah, it was rough.
And also talking to Keith 3 times a week and then adding him as another guest on the podcast. You know what? 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 Massonomics Gym iPod touches.
That's fair. I think I deserve that. No, it was very sad when Tommy rolled up the start of the podcast and was like, the audio sucked. We didn't get any video, and I was like, motherfucker. I knew they weren't going to get any video from the second one because 90% of the way through it, Rob, Vintage Waits, Big Rob came over and was like, just so you guys know, this camera is pointed to that empty table and not your full table. So I was like, okay, I already knew they weren't going to get video from that. But ours should have worked. It was so sad. I wore the fucking windbreaker the entire goddamn episode. I sweated my balls off when I stood up. I literally had sweat running down the inside of my shirt because I was so sweaty there for the hour we were recording. I had a blast. It was a great episode. I think my presence alone definitely earned it a 5 out of 5.
I want to say, how dare you not upload video of the table. Like, I think that's something we would do is we would literally just upload the video of the table and us talking in the background. I know we would do that. I hope they
For sure.
I hope they do that. Fun fact, Keith was played by an AI. No, Matt couldn't make it this week, sorry.
He's stuck in traffic still on the 95.
All right. Hogan, what's your rating?
I was lucky enough to be
What the fuck was that? Was that real or was that something odd? Was that AI or did that just fall?
No,
for the listeners at home.
My ring light and phone holder just fell.
Yeah, that was great. It was like eclipsed the entire screen.
Sorry, Hogan. Go ahead, buddy.
I was lucky enough to be one of the few to get to see that live and in person. So I did not listen to it. I got to live it. So that was not last week's for me. But that considered, the hand-delivered package from Big Tanner himself, I got to give that a 5 iPod Touches out of 5.
Now, I'm not sure if you saw where he was storing that. That was in the back of his shorts that whole morning. So that definitely had some Tanner butt sweat on it. Did the plastic package keep it protected, or did it have a little funk to it? I mean, it almost made me thought it was a hat since it was up his ass. So basically, because it's a fart. Whatever. Never mind. You guys suck.
I needed his strength from those wagon wheel deadlifts because those socks were being rocked during the competition. So I hope some of it rubbed off and added a few pounds to my lift.
No, if it's anything I know about crew, is really good at rubbing off on each other.
All right.
Shut up. I got a tripod.
I just wanted that to just marinate with everybody for a second.
Fuck you. It was funny. I'm out of sorts. My computer's completely fucking not working, so I'm doing this from my phone, and I'm not holding the phone for 2 hours, so I had to go get a tripod so I can at least. So I'm back and ready to go.
Yeah, and Tanner's here distracting all of us by walking around looking like he's from risky business. But anyway, we're going to get into the announcement. That way I can kick all of you. Oh, hey, Tanner's backyard is on the camera right now, everybody. So for those of you going to the Live Hard, Live Easy, you will see the new surprise. And I'm wondering if the next one is going to be the next competition's a backflip competition. Because I can do a backflip on a trampoline. Can you? Anyway, no. When's the last time you tried?
Never.
Let's do it.
I know my limit.
No, I don't believe you. We'll get into it when we talk to our guest, but I'm pretty sure that somebody I know has this big glute building program, and backflips are mostly in the glutes and hamstrings. So we'll get into that later.
Flip hard, live easy.
Flip hard, live easy. That's Jacob. We've already got the name. This is a great competition on who can out backflip little Joey. So should we talk about this week's competition and get into what I think what we should do is kind of, play it like the Massonomics crew. Let's talk about our favorite submissions. And because it was a draft, we would pick ours. And Tyler, I hope you have something. Maybe you watched a few of them that you can chime in on all of them. And then we will announce the winner. I'm going to say, because I had the least amount of submissions, I would go first. Because then I can get it out of the way and take a break. So Cody with his Crocs and Rocks was really good. He did a hack deadlift. Like, what do you even call that? Like, it was a behind the back deadlift, wearing Crocs. He had his chalk. He had all of his stuff. It was really creative. Big Jess Sesney, for those of you who may not know who that is, because I know that we might have another Jess or two in here, did a really fun thing where she went to the creek in her neighborhood and got rocks and did a Zerker deadlift with the rocks in her hand from the creek. And I thought that was really, really creative. And Big American Joey, Big Joey E, he did a really fun one where he narrated his video, used all of my tools, and then at the end said, "You're wondering where the rocks are." And then he did like this like Hot Pockets thing from Jim Gaffigan because he goes the Hot Pockets, but he did it with rock pockets and he threw pebbles all over his gym. So points to you for having to clean that up because that's clearly, weird. Tyler, did you catch any of those? Do you have anything you want to add to any of my commentary on my three? If I missed any, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if I missed anybody's submission in mentioning it here, but those are the ones that I had ready for today.
No, I watched both of them. I watched Jess's and I loved that one, and I watched Joey's, and I like the M part too. I thought the little what was Rock Pocket, or what did he say? Was that it?
I swear it was Rock Pockets because it sounded like the Jim Gaffigan Hot Pockets.
Yes, I thought that was funny, and I liked the little chime at the end. But yeah, they're really good.
Hogan, go with yours.
Gotcha. So in good recap, because the rules for this were very clear. We did a snake draft of our favorite home gym equipment.
I love that I didn't even explain that. I'm so good at podcasting.
Deep lore about nothing that we have here. So a snake draft of favorite home gym equipment, asking crew to pick one of our drafts and recreate it in an exercise. The idea being a silly goose type lift. For my submissions, my equipment, I believe, was yoke, sandbag, resistance bands, and a drink spotter. The first one I saw, I think it was the first submission, was from Big Sam, and I was so pleased that people were going to get it. His submission, I was like, people got the vibe for this. He runs in with a yoke, the sandbags being held by the bands, and it's just bopping him in the face. And I was just having a good old time from day one with this. So good job on that, Big Sam. Next, we had Matt, and I love the creativity of figuring out how to strap a yoke to you hands free, where the resistance bands were like a backpack, and he's just dragging a sandbag behind him. Love it. Putting the equipment on the line down the middle of the road, which I would love to hear what the neighbors now think of you after running in the street with that setup. Not like what we do at a home gym is weird enough. You had to really send it full. Then we had baby Ryan.
Can I just say on Matt's, the video editing was probably bang on for me. The way that he had like our voices telling you don't do this, and then just like the music kicked in and he's running down the street like a psycho. Like that was really, really well done. I think it, if we had to give props or honorable mentions to anything other than the winner, I would say editing. That was the best editing I think I saw.
And maybe not the most money spent on drink spotters, but man, there were a lot of drink spotters.
And silly pints.
Yeah. So definitely supporting the supporting podcast for sure. Then the next one I saw here, Big Ryan. And there were so many things just strung onto him, and he has balance for days with that yoke. I mean, just able to carry it all, a short little walk. It was great to see. And then the last one I saw was from Big Nick, and definitely living it easy, putting the live easy in that slogan right there. And I love the creativity. I think the whole essence, we got a lot of questions about, oh, I don't have this equipment. Will this count? It's be creative. And he didn't let equipment stop him. He tied a bar to a rack and said, this is a yoke. And I completely agree. I think that's the essence of what we're going for. So thank you to everybody who made submissions. I was absolutely ecstatic with the creativity everyone had. Keith, are you able to give some commentary?
Oh, I've got to unmute him. I'm working on it. Stand by. Hey, don't mute yourself if you were one of the 4 people talking right now.
And he's back.
I forgot Keith was here, Joey says.
That's good stuff. Thanks, guys. Yeah,
Welcome to your own podcast.
Thank you. Glad to be here. I thought everyone did a great job. Appreciate it. I think we ended up with a total of a baker's dozen total submissions. If I'm wrong with that, sorry if we missed anybody. I tried to do a story highlight on everyone that tagged us and did a post. Even the ones that were maybe may or may not have been past the deadline. I think everyone's got shared at least once. So I probably had the most easiest and accessible one for people to do without getting really creative with their existing gym equipment or going to the river to grab some rocks. So mine was what squat rack, metal plates, power bar, and ammonia. So I think I had so Big Jen always taking a good opportunity to bust my chops. So she got all dressed up in orange and did a fake ammonia bottle called like orange glaze or something or other, or rated on the glaze scale, I believe, and when she was loading the bar with all the chip plates just to mock my micro loading. I got a real big kick out of that. So Big Jen's always a fan favorite for me. Big Dr. Jake, I think, did it after working like a double or a triple or something with the hospital. Had a nice little bench with some ammonia going on. Daminger was down there in the basement gym getting a good bench on for us. Tron was out in the shed doing I think a rack pull or a deadlift inside his rack, I believe. Uh, uh, Mabel's was hysterical, literally flipping over the squat rack and deadlifting it. Essentially,
That was good.
that was definitely a front runner for me. And then Big David, one of the Davids. I know it is, but I know which one it was. We'll just call him one of the Davids. Can't individualize a David. It's just one of the Davids. He did the took a thing out of Jen's page, took a page out of Jen's book and kind of mocked good old Keith here. And there were so many Easter eggs in his that I had to watch it like 5 times to catch them all. So that was classic. I really enjoyed all those. And it was hard for us to get a winner. We all kind of had our front runners, and we ended up kind of going with who was at least in like the top, one or two for everyone, or the top three essentially, and that was our mathematical decision there.
As a reminder, take a pill.
Whose
It's not
Siri
me.
is going off?
That's my Alexa
Outs-
reminding us to take our
outstanding.
medications.
Nice.
Hogan, we're going to allow you to announce the winner. And about the time that you think you're close, I'm going to ask them to unmute.
Okay.
So should I unmute, my friend?
Yeah, let's go ahead and unmute.
All right. And our winner is
Big Joey E. Rock
Thank
Pockets.
you.
Rock Pockets 1.
This is an honor. I am shocked. There were so many strong submissions. I got to thank Hogan for organizing this. Got to thank Tanner and Tommy. I think, meeting them at home Gym Con weekend just really got the creative juices flowing. So thanks a lot. This contest was great. And of course, Joey, you had the best draft of all of them, in my opinion.
I can't believe I didn't get ammonia. Me, the one with the personal ammonia.
I think you had
But
because you had taken chalk right before me, I think, and I was like, oh, I should put
Yeah.
something like not gym equipment in.
yeah, so definitely, you won. It kind of came down to the one that we all kind of agreed was in our top couple of them. So congratulations, good work. Rock Pockets, really, really solidified the silliness, I think, of the whole thing.
I had a question for Joey. Where did you get your rocks?
I got
Pockets.
them in
His
my
pockets.
flower bed and my pockets. Yes.
Yeah.
I always have rocks in my pockets just in case.
You've upgraded from pocket sand to pocket rocks?
Yep.
Mhm.
Do you guys not have
That's
pocket rocks? Is that not normal?
I like rocks.
I do have rocks, but not pockets.
He does. He's got a rock in his hand right now in his office. Oh, I've got a whole gravel pit of rocks, and we found some rocks at the beach, and I have the rock I like to lift. So, congratulations. So for the rest of everybody here, we might do a couple more generic topics, but that is our winner. Send them your congratulations. Hogan will probably reach out for your sizing. I just want to warn you, those sleeves be short.
Yeah, we I'm so glad that the winner was someone under 5'8", because anyone above 5'8" would have had a hell of a time. I don't know if they had like a tall version that we could have special ordered, because me being 5'8", I'm the tallest one out of the guys that had one, and I was like, guys, like if I'm any taller, like my there's gonna be riding up my forearms. So I think Joey's a couple inches shorter than me, so that should work out perfect for you. I'm a two. Mine was a 2X for reference. So that should be pretty probably a good size maybe.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm going to start removing people. If you guys want to jump into maybe some of these other generic topics, Joey, thank you for joining us at that
Yeah.
surprise. Surprise. I'm unmuting you. Join. Thanks to everybody else for your submissions. They were all incredible.
Yeah, and big thanks to Hogan. I think he set the gauntlet down. So, future crew that want to help have fun games like this. As Joey and I always say, we're too busy to do shit like that. But if you guys want to help orchestrate it, we'll be a platform for you guys.
And a big thank you to Joey, Keith, and Nate. They led a big amount of the work behind this. I was out at doing the prep for the competition at the Strongman Throwdown, so they really helped push this along. So thank you to and Nate for helping out with that.
And you were specifically talking about, your strongman prep for the world's strongest man, right? I saw that Tom won for the third time, and then I didn't see you on the podium, so you must not have done too well, huh, Hogan?
The editing, man, it's how they just cut it. It's about sponsors. It's a pay to win game.
That sucks. Maybe next year.
Yep. It'll be there on meet day. It sure will.
Yeah. Yep. I dig it. Do you want to see the No Wine Cellar Garage meme account? This was it the second meme account now to bust my chops.
I did see that. I have no clue who that is. I have some insider information on some other meme accounts right now, but
there's so
not
many
that
meme
one.
Accounts. So many meme accounts out there. So they're all as long as they keep it in good spirits, I'm okay.
Hogan, I want to thank you for joining us to announce the winner, but we are going to get our guest on pretty soon. And we want to make sure that we focus specifically on the guest. So if there's anything you want to say before you sign off.
Can't wait to hear your episode, Big Tyler. Have a fun time. They're a good group of guys. They'll keep it easy.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And again, thank you for everything you did in doing this competition, running this competition, and joining us.
All right. Night, everybody.
Bye. All right. Now that all those bozos are gone, Keith, stop staring at me like you're going to hit me.
You're good, buddy.
Heard about the Watertown Midway meetup. Tyler, are you going?
This is news to me. What's going on? What is the Watertown meetup?
I believe at some point in June there will be a meetup.
June 15th, Saturday, June 15th at noon, I believe.
Yeah,
Central, your time zone.
Noon. There will be a meetup of unpaid interns and the Massonomics crew at Nathan from Build Fast Formula and Abby's.
Oh,
yeah. I saw that Tanner threw a big tag at you in Discord, but it's hard to keep up, I understand, with Discord. So,
oh my gosh, yes, I just started my new job, and I'm like actually working and like away from my phone.
Yeah,
and yeah, I'll come back to like 100 messages.
It's in the event section, so if you're gonna head down there,
okay,
yeah, go ahead and check that out. Somebody's back with their actual setup.
Hello.
And there is one thing, of course, I wanted to bring up here, because sometimes, we like to give little things for the crew to make fun of us about. Big Trond was talking earlier about Bizarro Trond in the Discord, and I wanted to point out that there is a version of me that is similar to Bizarro Trond. Except not when I'm drunk. He comes out when I'm tired. And it's Mean Joey. So Mean Joey is very, as my wife describes, chirpy and catty. I'm not like mean or aggressive or violent. Like I say some of the things that if you told me later, I said them. So I want to give two examples that happened this week. Because what happened was I didn't say them out loud. I turned to my friend and said them. And my friend said, no, you can't bring him back. So one of them was There was an older gentleman, and he was talking about kind of in like negative terms. What do I buy my mom for Mother's Day or her birthday? And he goes, "What do I buy a 92-year-old?" And I kind of mumbled, "A coffin."
Jesus.
So
I'd probably punch you if you said that.
that's why I don't say things out loud, dude. Like, so Mean Joey does exist. He is out there, and it's a guy that I've had like bury over the past couple of years. But the other one was this other guy who was going off about how every time he has a birthday, the government charges him money. And I simply said, then stop having birthdays. And that's not a very nice thing to say. So I just want to say, Bizarrotron, you might end up in entirely other cities, but I'm probably going to get stabbed one day if that filter ever leaves. That's right. The return of Mean Joey. The chirpy mean, like, yeah, ugh, just mean things, like Shorzy level of awful that
Yeah,
I
that's
could do and I could say, and I hold back.
let's not alienate our podcast guests any more than we already do, I guess. So don't be chirpy to them. No more
Obviously
than I
not. Obviously not. I'll chirp you all day though.
already am.
But
That's
not to
fine.
that
No.
level. But
I'll
that's a
just mute
whole
you.
new level. Yeah, that level's awful. I'm not gonna go there again. But yeah, I just thought that was funny when it was like Bizarrotron. And then I remembered somebody going, "Don't bring back Mean Joey. He was the worst." I was like, "Oh my god, he was."
Well, it's at least you're self-aware of it. Like some people will go their whole lives and not realize they're fucking assholes. Like
Well, yeah,
that's people you got to feel bad for.
the thing about brutally honest people is they value the brutal over the honest. And it's not exactly who I wanted to be going forward in my life. So that was it. That was the update of the return of Mean Joey. He's creeping his way back in, which is why we took vacation this week. Because I needed a break. I needed a break from humans.
Speaking of vacation, probably our last topic, Mastonomics hit their second video from their little home gym con vacation they took last week. So that came out today. I'm going to assume I'm the only one that watched it. It was cool. I enjoyed it. They just walked around and talked to a bunch of vendors that I already knew and was buddies with. So I always make the joke that when they come to stuff like that they're just they're just video and tape and talking to my friends. So I got a kick out of that. And I even made a comment about how I'm glad they buried the hatchet with Rep Fitness, who there was like a beef with literally like 6 years ago, but it was like a 2-day thing. It's been like so far in the rearview mirror. It's just funny. And Tanner was even like, "Oh, I forgot about that." So yeah, that was about that. Good video. I think they got at least one or two more. Should have at least one or two more videos coming from that whole weekend. So look forward to anything else that comes out from that.
I actually did watch that video.
Oh,
I
shit.
feel terrible because we were talking about rating the episode and you asked about the audio. I watched it right before this. And when you asked about the audio, that's where my brain went. Was to that. I was like,
Gotcha.
oh, it was great. And I was about to compliment like the video editing because yeah. But the foldable, I don't remember whose booth it was, but the one with the like thing that folds up with the
PRX
bench.
spot, right?
And yeah,
PRX.
I don't watch Shark Tank or anything like that, so I never heard of it. And I thought that was so cool. I
Yeah,
didn't know that they made like stuff like that. And that would be so handy to give us like smaller garage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I'm sorry I judged a book by its cover. I said that no one watched it but me, and now to my chagrin, Joey's gonna say, "Oh, I watched it too." But
No, God,
I don't know.
no. It was my kid's open house. So essentially, he landed, like the YouTube landed, and he came home. And of course, we had an email regarding an incident from earlier today where we had to address it and then go to the open house. And yeah, actually, this screen is the first screen I've sat in front of since about like 10 o'clock this morning. I tried to do. Go ahead.
Is open house once a year, or is that like a once a semester thing? Because we've talked about that before, and I'm trying to think if it's once a year, that's kind of cool. That like I remember us like talking about an open house prior, but I don't know if it's like once a semester or what.
No, I think Meet the Teacher and open house are different. So Meet the Teacher is you're specifically there to talk to the teacher about school, whereas open house is you're allowed to go everywhere. So they had like for the kids, they had like a fire truck and food trucks, and you could go to the Scholastic Book Fair and buy your kid books and things like that. Whereas at the Meet the Teacher, it was only confined to that one classroom. Right.
Gotcha.
So yeah, no, that's what that was. So yeah, I haven't looked at anything all day. The only thing I have read is the show note.
That's good. Yeah, I saw you had messed with them a little bit yesterday, I think. So that's good. Good.
I
Gotta prepare for
contribute.
Big Tyler.
I don't care what
Yeah.
you say on the Massnomics podcast. I contribute shit.
Did I? You don't even know what I said. Yeah, I was mean, Keith. That's why, I slandered you the whole
Mean
episode.
Keith was there.
Fucking Joe, he didn't know anything.
Yeah, it's partially true. Tyler, do you want to do a Massnomics ad read for us?
Absolutely. The funny thing is like those guys in the podcast, how they portray themselves on YouTube, the podcast is exactly how they are in person. And it's so refreshing, especially in the world of people that do podcasts. Sometimes you come across people who they are not like behind the screen or behind the microphone is not who they are in person. So it's really just it's interesting knowing Tanner in person and seeing him like just in the gym casually, like day in and day out, and then hearing him and seeing him going to and doing all these things. Funny doing the parallel, but I mean, they have good quality t-shirts, good quality podcasts. I'm loving the YouTube videos. They are on par with that. And I'm excited to see where they go. I'm so proud of them, especially like being around them and just, yeah. Well, mainly Tanner, but
Yeah,
yeah.
Tommy had to go and move away.
Abandoned.
I know.
Well,
It's okay.
yeah. Speaking of that, Tommy's got a special little banner in his garage that I mentioned last week. Massonomics had, and he has one too.
It sure does. It looks, and it's in like a good spot too. Like you see it in like all his pictures and videos. I'm like, yep, that's us. It just makes me smile every time I see it.
Yeah, that was me messaging Tanner saying like, I want to send Tommy a banner. How do I make this happen? And that's when Tanner was like, well, I want one too, so I'll just do it myself. So they went to Play Snacks, used code unpaid, sent a direct message saying, I just want the unpaid and underrated one because there's already 2 or 3 of them out in the world. And that's pretty amazing. So now all Tanner has to do is get Tommy to listen to some episodes.
Yeah, that would be ideal. I tried to harp on him a little bit about it, at Home Gym Con, just to be kind of in my mind. It's just like, the whole point of this is so when we get together at Lift Hard, Live Easy, like you're gonna know these fucking people better than what you might if you hadn't listened to their episode, because there's gonna be a new crew there that weren't there last year. So like, go cherry pick some of those episodes so you kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna know who this is. But I get it. We don't have short podcasts, so like I get that, but I don't know, it would be cool. But they he is 50% of our financial sponsor, so if he doesn't want to listen very often, who are we gonna say? As long as the checks keep coming in the mail, right?
You're getting paid.
Not that there's checks.
You're getting paid.
It's a figurative check. It's a check to Zoom Premium.
All right, let's get our
websites.
Do you want to get our guest on the horn?
Yeah, I think we've eventually. I think I logged in under 4 accounts. So are all those logged out and kicked out by now, except the one I'm talking from?
Yeah. And our poor guest has been waiting this entire time for us to talk about them.
All right.
Well, all right.
On the horn, then.
Big Tyler, unhinged. Is that you?
Yes.
You are live on Unpaid and Underrated. Thank you for patiently waiting for us to get through all of that bullshit. But now, you're the guest now. So
how exciting! I wouldn't call it bullshit. I really enjoyed watching like the people's submissions. Like Matt's cracked me up. It wasn't it. Do you guys remember that Ocean Breeze video that went viral of that guy like drinking the cranberry juice?
Yeah.
And it was like that, but different, like more chaotic. But
the
that
opposite.
was the same vibe. Yes.
Yeah, like
that
he hit
was
them.
Like,
was it Motorhead? I want to say it was Motorhead in his video, but it might have been something a little like more obscure. But knowing Matt, it was probably Motorhead. It like he just hit it. Like it was me and Keith and Nate when I was like, don't do unsafe shit. And Nate was like, you go do unsafe shit. Do it. And then Matt's running down the street with a yoke on his back. Yeah, that was a really good.
I don't know how he didn't hurt himself, because I would have 100% pulled something or just ate shit on the pavement.
It was AI anyway, so it's not like, it's not like he was actually doing that. That was all AI generated. I really loved Jen's mocking of Keith.
Yeah, that guy.
Like the hands out on the deadlift, everything. Like she had it down. Jess, I think, really creatively took my thing with the Zerker squat. with the deadlift bar and the rocks in her hands. Because you're like, what is there's no way she's gonna, and then just like she somehow figured out how to do it. So like creatively, that was an incredible submission. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed all of those. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about you.
Yeah, sorry, I went on a tangent.
So you and I did meet at the Lift Hard, Live Easy, but
Yes.
you were not crew at the time.
No.
So I had no clue who you were at all. And I might have, I might have been Mean Joey or just Keith Rude.
I'm not gonna lie.
Is that a thing we say now? You prick?
No. No. Actually, I would have never been Mean Joey, but Keith Rude and Keith at Meets is Keith Rude.
Oh,
But like,
okay.
But I kept going like, why don't I know that person like the entire time? Because you seem to know everybody there, and I had no clue who you were.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I don't honestly. There's so much of that meet that I don't remember because I was so hyped up on adrenaline. Like, it's all like a blur. It's like I was drunk but wasn't.
Yeah, sounds like
It's crazy. It was fantastic though. I was so much fun. But I tell you what, once I got home that night, I was done for. There was no way I was making it out.
Oh,
I went to bed. No, I did not.
No, I don't think Tyler came to the zoo.
No, I could not hang. Hopefully that's different this year. Fingers crossed.
If we'll see. I don't even know if I want to go to the zoo after I've already made so many stupid fucking commitments. Like karaoke on Thursday. Why would I do that? I have to weigh in on Friday. Like, why would I make any commitments to go and have fun on Thursday? But at the same time, like, this is, to me, this is rivalrous to the rival.
That's not a word.
No, that's not a word.
I don't think there's an etymology for that one. And I know what etymology means now because of this podcast.
Whoa.
No, to me, this is like almost better than the Arnold. Like, we're going to go and take over Aberdeen.
Oh, yeah.
For 4 days, 5 days for some of us. Right. And we're just going to do. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Speaking of that, I understand that you manage a liquor store at Kessler's.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I just took over. Like, sorry. I thought there was
No, he was playing into the bit that like everyone submitted saying she hates being confused for this job when this is her actual job. So he was just playing into that because everyone that responded said she gets like annoyed when people think.
So you manage the liquor department of a Kessler's. You don't manage a liquor store.
No, but I did want to correct you. And
you can correct us at any point throughout the episode.
Half the point is me saying wrong shit for you to correct me. That's what we do on this podcast.
We want to get a rise out of people and see like
wonderful
real feelings and emotion. That's what.
Or they become canon, like me saying Sarah Cody.
Mm-hmm. Stuff.
Anyway, so yeah, tell us about that because like you brought it up now once or twice. You seemed really excited about it, so I want to hear about it.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I took over about 2.5 weeks ago, and honestly, this is like the first like quote unquote big girl job, you know. Salary, I was like, whoa. And going into it's like more actual business management, so more hands on because I was working retail for 6 years before running a store, and that one was a bit more chill. So this one, I'm actually like on the books talking to vendors. And it's all liquor and wine, so like fun stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I didn't think I would. I mean, I knew I'd like it, but I didn't think I would like it as much as I do because I've never been like one with numbers. I failed college algebra twice, man. Mm-hmm. Like it was not a good time.
That's because algebra is not business math. Like business math is how much dollars in versus dollars out and PNC.
Yeah, there's not freaking letters in it. It's simple.
Yeah, T&M and stuff like that. No, algebra. Algebra is really fun. I actually enjoyed algebra, but also at the same time, like somebody comes to me and they're like, how can I make this make sense with my business? And I'm like, yeah, sure. This is really easy. But if they were like, well, how can X factor for A? I'm just like, who cares? Why are you, which has never come up once in my job, Tyler. But yeah, anyway, no, that's really exciting. And congratulations. I hope you I hope you have fun with that and success in that.
Thank you.
So are you an Aberdeen native then? Or I know you're South Dakota native, but are you from Aberdeen originally, or did school bring you there, or the job bring you there, or what brought you to Aberdeen specifically?
Me and Aberdeen have a long, long history. So I moved here when I was like 11, I want to say, and we lived here until I was 16. And then my mom got a job West River, and that's where I finished high school and graduated from. And I moved back to Aberdeen in 2018 for college. And I've kind of just been here ever since because honestly, when I moved here is when rent prices kind of skyrocketed like crazy all around. And I have a very, very, very good deal here. And it's hard to leave when you have student loans. But also, it's kind of nice because I have like this niche little community in here, like with Massonomics being here. And then I've got like my cats too. And it sounds silly, but like uprooting them, I'm like, gosh, like I'm uprooting my family, man. So, um, moving is kind of one of those things that I'll do eventually when the timing's right. But I've got good thing going on over here. So I love Aberdeen. I wouldn't call myself a native, but pretty close.
Native
Pretty
adjacent.
close. Yes.
We like to.
The good old
Yeah.
Aberdabber. So did you get your Hall of Fame status card?
No. There's a lot on there that I probably because I know I haven't listened to every single podcast.
You have the
I
card.
got a
though. You're just-
Who's got
lot
the
of
time?
yeah, it's a lot of podcasts to catch up on. I have the card. It's actually in my glove box.
So how many? Actually, that's where mine is.
Really?
Yeah, that's actually where mine is. I checked off all the things and was like, well, this is going to stay close. So how many points did you get?
I don't remember. I checked it off. I think I kept up with it, like checking things off because there's some things that were easy for me to do. So I was just going and doing them, but I don't remember. I don't remember. Yeah. It honestly wasn't as much as I thought it was going to be. But there's just a lot of things like the crew falls, just things that I'm going to have to wait a year around for it to come back up.
Crew Falls was awesome. Definitely, you should, especially being what's like 3 hours to definitely go to Crew Falls. Yeah, it was definitely worth it. Speaking of that, I don't know where my card is. I need to find that because I don't want to lose that fucking thing. That's I'm like, as soon as we asked about it, I'm like, the whole time I've been sitting here, where the fuck is my card at? I don't know.
No, I know
so much shit scattered around this house.
I know where mine is. Okay, so obviously the gym, but what brought you to Massonomics beyond the gym? Or was like, how did you even find the gym? Because I understand that it's like a niche. No, not niche. It's a private club that nobody's allowed to get a hold of. I've been there. I've been there. There's no sign on the door.
Nope. There's no sign. And they're not even, I don't know if they are now, but when you would Google them before, it wouldn't even take you to like the right address.
Yeah, it's definitely the wrong address. I think Big Dr. Jake got that wrong last year.
Yep. Takes you to like this random brick building. So I think his name is Caden Johnson. I had a home ec class with him, and we shared a table, and we were on the same table, so we had to like work on projects, like all of us had sat at the table together. Long story short, fast forward, I'm lifting, and I used to like train more hypertrophy / for aesthetics, and just like measuring my progress based on how I looked wasn't very good, for the mentee B. So I saw that he was always posting at Massonomics when he was lifting, and I was getting like more powerlifting content coming up on my social media, and I thought it looked like a lot of fun. But I didn't know what I was doing, and I figured the only way I'm going to get better is to be surrounded by people that are just beacons of knowledge and experience. So I tracked down their Instagram page and I just DM'd them. I was like, "Hey, can I like come tour?" And they're like, "Yeah, I definitely want to do that because this is not like most gyms." And it definitely wasn't, but I was hooked immediately. Like just you walk in, it's like the smell of like metal, a little bit of copper and knee sleeves. And I was like, yep.
And when did you join in like the time frame of like, so like Lift Hard Live Easy, how long were you a member prior to that?
I think it came out in like November, December. So I started in May prior, which So 7 months, 6 or 7 months before
Awesome.
registration. So over a year
Oh, yeah,
before
okay.
the first
Yeah, that's what I
one.
meant. So you were already you were an established 1 year plus prior to the meet. So, okay, good to know.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, well, okay. Sorry. Caught me off guard there, Joe.
With what?
Both looking
Sorry.
for the next segue. No,
No,
no, no.
I zoned
I
right out
was,
for a second there.
yep, same. Me too. So,
It's
was it
been
in
a
ever?
very long day. It's been a very long 4 days of vacation, and then today with the kid stuff, I am is the only way to describe that.
So, when you won the 2019 Junior Miss Rodeo, was that in Aberdeen or was that somewhere else?
You said 2018?
Was it, no, I think it was 19 from what
19?
Google told me it was 2019, I believe. But
Google. Damn Google.
it also
I
had your college as aspirations like criminal justice or something too. So that could have been like very early in your life and possibly inaccurate on the Google machine.
actually it's not. So 2019, I want to say I was junior Miss Rodeo South Dakota, and that was right after I was Miss South Dakota High School Rodeo.
Oh, okay,
So
so multiples.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And I don't know if you've ever seen like the toddlers and tiaras, but when you're pageanting, like there's a very certain image that you're supposed to carry in the rodeo arena and then outside. So there's just things like you can like I couldn't be a freshman in college. I couldn't post having a boyfriend. Like there's very strict rules around it. So I retired, but about the criminal justice, I did go to college for that and graduated with a degree in criminal justice.
Gotcha.
It just doesn't pay a lot of money in South Dakota. So
Gotcha.
I make like way more now.
Nice.
It's just terrible.
Is that because there's no crime?
No, well, I specialize in like social work and investigative studies. So just around here, if I were to move to like the city, that'd be different because they're looking for people to like analyze crime rates, like why is that happening here, why is it happening there, yada yada yada. We don't really need that. We get like maybe a murder a quarter, you know. It's not very crazy out here.
They have Big Caden on the force now, so I mean, I don't see there's he's probably he's a big guy. So he's probably a deterrent of crime when people see Big Caden walking around in his police uniform.
Oh yeah.
We did.
It's funny now. I noticed we have a spike of police officers now at the gym.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tanner has mentioned that in one of the videos, or maybe just in conversation that like there are like a half a dozen law enforcement agents or officers that that are members there. I think he was talking about it. I think it was in the gym tour video essentially of like who's going to rob from us. Like there's videos, there's cameras, and like half the people are cops. Like what the fuck? Like I don't think you got to worry about it. Ironically enough, I think when we were at what was it? When we were at Pounders on Thursday, we watched someone. I don't think they got arrested or anything, but there was like a long encounter with like someone getting pulled over like right in the parking lot of Pounders, and we were all just like watching it for like an hour. It seemed like an hour. It might have only been like 10 minutes, but it was but yeah, I think that was the only police action I saw that weekend in Aberdabber.
Yes.
Sounds about right.
So you caught what I was looking at. Please introduce us.
This is Morris. He's my long boy. Come here. I'm so sorry. He's very.
Oh, he's so big.
So passive. I could not do that to my cat. She is like holding him. She's holding him out, like spreading him full length with her arms out, and he's like looks like he's
like a fish.
3 feet long.
Hold him like a fish.
Yeah, he is a big baby. He's my firstborn, but the second oldest. If that makes sense. He was the first cat I adopted.
I got you. First adopted,
yeah.
Adopted and a senior.
And who's the one making the most noise?
That would be the one that you heard trilling earlier. His name is Nick. He's the one without a tail. So I think, lack of tail. So more vocal. I don't know if that's like the trade-off, but it seems like that's what it is.
Science.
Yeah. It's either it's dead quiet in here like this, or he is non-stop yelling.
Yeah.
All the time.
That's because he's off balance.
I think so. Something.
I miss my
He's
tail.
also, he's still got like his members down there too. So I think that also contributes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's one more, isn't there?
Yeah. His name's Jack. He's napping. He's built like Elon Musk. So he's got like the big barrel chest and like really big rib cage. Like his chest like barrels out like this, and then he's got like really tiny hips. So he's just like an upside down like bowling pin.
He looks like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
All right, so you used to work at the Y, and did you steal toilet paper as well?
She may not know that, Laura.
No.
Do you know what we're talking about at all?
No.
So so like back in the day when Big Tanner met Big Mary, when Mary was working at YMCA, I believe this was like early to mid 20 or early 20-year-old Tanner, bachelor living by himself in an apartment, or maybe regardless, he was a young guy, probably living with other guys. He was walking down the YMCA hallway once, and there was a storage closet was open, and he just took a bunch of toilet paper home to his apartment. And I don't know I think it was an ongoing thing possibly, but it was also like while he was courting Mary, which was even funnier because she worked there. So I'm curious if that like affected her job that she had to, so that's just a running joke of like Tanner steals toilet paper. So next time you see him, if you hand him a roll of toilet paper, it'd be funny.
Well, honestly, I was concerned because it sounds like something that I would do. So, because I have done that before. So I was like, damn, did I do that? And how would they know about that?
That's great. No, I just wanted to make the connection of the older episodes with you. So you're at the Y, and then you went where?
So this is terrible, but I was at Glick's first. And that was where I was for 6 years prior. And we closed our store.
I don't know what that is. Is that a department store?
Oh, yeah. It's a clothing store, and it's family owned. So they have 72 stores, but they're owned by like the Glick family. And for as big as it is, like you'd be surprised how actually close knit. Like I personally knew the CEO, things like that. So like they were very involved with their stores. But they closed their Aberdeen location just because our mall, I don't know if you guys went here. It's terrible.
I heard bad things about it.
Oh my gosh. You could put a boat in some of those like craters in the damn parking lot. But yeah, so good enough. It's dying. So they just decided to cut their losses and close it down. And I was doing insurance, and then I went to the Y and I taught classes. And I'll tell you guys what, that body pump is some of the hardest shit that I've ever had to do.
That less mills or less miles or something, right? Yeah, I did that whack when I was like discovering fitness and doing all kinds of different random classes when I was traveling, just because it was easier. It was prior to barbells and powerlifting.
Yeah, I have no clue what you're talking about.
Just very aerobic cardio based with some hand weights essentially, and you're gonna sweat your balls off for 45 minutes to an hour.
No, yeah, I don't want to do
the ones that the ones that the people, or I guess the ones in Aberdeen, like the ones that the people taught weren't nearly as hard, but the videos were ridiculous. You're doing like 50 to 100 reps in like a matter of minutes because you're just going nonstop over and over and over again. I was fighting for my life.
That sounds like somebody that doesn't want to be strong. It sounds like you don't want to be strong doing that.
Oh no, it's all little old ladies, 100%, and they're kicking my ass.
Okay, so then you're at the Y, teaching and working out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then to where?
To pretty much where I am at now.
There was not an Anytime Fitness in between those?
That's where I lifted, but I did not work there. Anytime Fitness was I started at the Y lifting, but Anytime was my second gym before Massonomics, but never worked there. Didn't get along with the owner.
Shocking. And then shocking. And then I've seen you at Massonomics, but you did a guest spot, I think, at another gym with somebody. You were doing some bodybuilding stuff.
You regularly train somewhere else too, it looks like, I think. Semi-regularly, maybe.
Yeah, I'll actually be back there this weekend. It's Evolution Fitness in North Dakota. It's owned Tanner informed me that it's owned by the same people that own Barefoot Shoes. So it's split between this one couple and then the Barefoot Shoe owners. So they're both locations are fantastic. One definitely has more of the grunge like garage gym or just like shop gym kind of feel. Whereas the other one is definitely more of like I don't want to say influencer gym, but aesthetically like that's where the bright lights are, the cool fixtures, like the LED lighting and signages, the fancy stuff. But they're both really, really dope locations. Not as good, in my opinion. Like they don't have the bar variety that we do at Massonomics. We're quite spoiled. And I'm not going to lie, I love the variety.
So my question would be, what brings you all the way up to North Dakota for lifting?
My boyfriend lives out there. And he works at Evolution Fitness. He's a bodybuilding coach as well as a personal trainer there.
So that makes sense, right? You're not just, I thought you were just like, I like this gym. I'm going to drive for a couple hours to go there every once in a while.
I figured.
Oh, no.
Because it's that's kind of what I put together with context clues on that one.
Yep.
As far as you mentioned Tanner's, all the bars at Massonomics, have you ever known him to sell a bar or for a bar to actually disappear? And you're like, oh, where'd that bar go that I like? Or he's just accruing more because that's like a running joke. Is like he adds like 5 to 10 barbells every year, but like, is he out of space or do you just like see new barbell storage appear and you're like, oh, now there's 20 barbells on this wall too?
No, literally, they just keep appearing. And it's so funny. It's so funny. I think the last, like, when he just came back, I think he brought 3 or 4 barbells with him. He's like, yeah, it was 3. He's like, I got a new squat bar, power bar, and deadlift bar. And I'm like, this is fantastic.
He absolutely did. Yeah, that was, we talked to him about that the other day about that.
So speaking of that, Tanner wants to know, he specifically asked us to ask you, what is the piece of equipment that he is missing so that you can finally get strong?
That's so hard because I joined Massonomics because they had like the equipment that I thought was missing from other places. Like I remember when I saw that they had like that row machine where you could put like the plates on, I was like, that's wow. This is awesome.
The hammer strength ISO row. Yeah, that's a great one.
Honestly though, I think everyone would benefit from this, especially Larry, because I see him doing this all the time. I don't know if you guys have met him yet or if he's on part of crew, but I think a little hip thrust machine, like one of the smaller ones, not like we don't need one of the big fancy ones, but I think one of those little hip thrust machines would be so nice because everyone could use it. I see Larry, the way like it takes so much to set up for hip thrusts. And
what are they using? Because like there are I don't know if he has the space or the money that he wants to invest in like a full hip thrust machine.
Yeah.
But AbMat has some products where you can basically load a barbell on like the bottom of a squat rack, and then it's a pivot. It's like a foam pivot pad. So your back, so you attach the piece of like square foam to the barbell, and it'll like articulate as you would be doing your hip thrust motions. And you can also put like there's another pad where it's like the hip thrust pad itself to where, it's the same as putting like a squat pad on the bar when you're doing your hip thrust, but it's like a more cushionier one. I think it's got like foam on like multiple sides or something. So I don't know if Tanner has either of those or if the people just like, are they just very jankily using an adjustable bench and a barbell on their lap? Is that kind of what's happening or?
Oh no. I think even like what you said, yeah, like just something, I think it's more so to put back on just because all the benches are just like a hair too tall, to get that straight line from knees to shoulders. Because we got barbell pads. I donated a hip thrust pad to the cause because I saw what Larry was using. I was like, oh no.
I guess we'll call Tanner out and tell him to go to abmat.com and look up. I want to say I'm pretty sure it's the pivot pad. But if not, I'll double check. But yeah, there's definitely a contraption that AbMat sells that goes onto a barbell and is basically becomes the back saddle that your shoulders go on, and it'll pivot as you're thrusting up and down.
That sounds perfect.
And use code unpaid. It won't work. It won't work, but at least they'll know we sent.
Actually, reach out to Coach Carp. Carp has a code through them, and you can use that. I don't know if it's a changing code or not, but or DM, just DM Coach Carp. He has that a code for them for I think it was 15% off. They saved me like $80 on my $400 fucking strongman log crash cushions.
Oh, nice! I saw they were at that home gym con, weren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
There were many a good company there.
Yeah, I had I can't remember off the top of my head. Belt fed.
Yep.
I don't
Chris
know her. I
from
don't. Yes.
so that's Randy from Beltfed. So yeah, her husband Chris is crew and was on the podcast last month. And Randy does all the carving and artwork for all their leather belts. She's an amazing artist. She can do crazy stuff with some belts.
She followed me on Instagram. I was like, oh gee. I think I just got done watching her part of the YouTube video. I was like, this is terrifying. This happened.
Yeah, she's super nice. I talked to her a good bit at Home Gym Con. I don't think she's crew. I know, well, she's crew adjacent via Chris. I don't think she's specifically crew though.
Actually, I think you followed my wife on Instagram too, and she had to check with me, and she was like, "Who is this?" I was like,
"Well, when I saw that little bit about Witch, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, because I think you guys were talking about rocks earlier, like, you know."
Okay, you've got your crystals and stuff. Yeah, definitely more of Morgan's area of specialty, not mine. Oh, I had one. Damn it. So you have this new brand, Unhinged, right? And I understand you had your first competition recently.
Yeah.
So tell me what's up.
Ruby had her first competition with me. So we competed together actually at Shield Maiden. And she this was her first powerlifting meet, so commands and things like that were new to her. So she bombed out in bench because of commands. And afterwards, I wanted to get into coaching because I loved like what my coach did for me and how much she's improved my confidence. It still does like today. So I wanted to start learning and just educating myself. So I started coaching and kind of shadowing underneath him and as well as using my boyfriend as a beacon of knowledge as well. I'm very thankful to be surrounded by people that are knowledgeable about it. And I asked her if I could coach her and have her kind of be like my portfolio. And then I've got a couple other girls underneath too. So we can all learn together. And working with her has been so much fun just because all the things that I wish I would have done when I started lifting, like I can tell her, like, take it from me as someone who is only like a year and a half out of from where you are now. Don't do what I did. Like, do this, do the reps, do the back offsets, do all the little things that freaking suck, because the things that suck are the ones that are going to make you do better on meet day. And it was 100% there on meet day. We tapered perfectly. We peaked just in time. Squats flew. She probably could have done 225 that day. And when we first started working together, she was at 187. So,
nice.
Yeah, big jumps for her. I was super proud and felt like a proud parent. I think I was like tearing up in the gym while I was watching her. I was like, oh my gosh, oh, look at her go. So yeah, she won her weight class at age class. She was the only one in it, but you know, a dub is a dub. The medal goes on the wall no matter what.
Powerlifting record holder, as one might say.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So is she the only one? You have how big is your roster then? Or how many guys, people do you have work underneath you?
Yeah, so I've got one girl that's actually in the Massonomics meet. It's going to be her first ever meet. And her name's Megan Johnson. I'm very excited for her. Her Instagram handle for her gym is Megan the Quarter Horse, and it's very creative. She's very tall. She's a tattoo artist, super fun gal. It's so fun to work with. We're just kind of dipping her toes in it, getting her feet wet, just letting her get familiar and just get hype about it. Because after the Massonomics meet for me, like, I was hungry, and I think she just kind of wants that hunger too. So I'm excited for her to just experience it and get to know everyone too. She's gonna have so much fun. And then the other girl, her name is Kaylee, and she's also from North Dakota with Ruby. They're both 16, 17, and we're going to be working together for the XBC Nationals in November. And Ruby's going to be doing that too. So we're actually going to get like little t-shirts made for all the Unhinged girls and have like a little team. So awesome. We're really excited. Hopefully we're going to take over the teen division and just sweep it. That'd be really cool.
That'd be awesome. Now, when you did the Lift Hard Live Easy last year, was that your first meet, or had you done any of Dave's meets or any other meets before that?
That was my first meet, and it was, that was so much fun.
So you caught the bug hard then. You're like,
Yeah, I was gonna say
I
you
love it.
you
That's
chose the
awesome.
right one, except they're not all like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least you.
Yeah, I
As long
learned that
as
the hard way.
no, that's awesome. But yeah, Dave's a good meat director, and if he's pretty, what's he in Fargo? So as long as he did the Shield Maiden meat, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming he's going to do I'm assuming he's doing XBC Nationals because I don't imagine you guys are traveling to wherever else that would be. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Having a good local meat, local-ish, anything under a few hours is kind of low. Anything under 6 hours is local to South Dakota, I guess. So having that ability has got to be pretty nice.
Oh yeah. Especially, yeah, it's so the Dave sent meat put that, oh my gosh, the meats that Dave puts on are fantastic. Shield Maiden was awesome. Um, I kicked the bucket on that one, but everyone else, like, it was so fun meeting all the girls. And there's so many women in like the tri-state area that powerlift there's women that competed there that didn't compete in King of the North, like brand new. There's so many women coming out of the woodwork. It's so cool. And the way that Dave and Katie are encouraging it and creating opportunities for women in the space is awesome. It's so cool. Love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for anyone. Oh, yep. Go ahead.
What other meets have you done? Any other federations?
Nope, just XPC.
Just XPC.
Yeah, because I think USAPL, they were the closest we have is Wisconsin and Minnesota, and they're banned in Minnesota, and I was not
Minnesota
about to
doesn't exist
travel.
anymore.
Yeah, I think they just got reinstated.
Yeah, I think I saw something like that. Like, but yeah, there was like a 2-year thing where it's like, what the fuck? You just can't compete in Minnesota.
Yeah, you got to go all the way to Wisconsin, which depending on where you're at is not that bad, but it's all county roads to get there, and that freaking sucks, man, because they don't do anything about the South Dakota county roads. Like, there's some of them where it's almost, it's just like you're scared you're gonna fall in.
Yeah.
I'm flying out with my buddy Big Chris this year, and we're flying into not where the fuck are we flying? We're flying into we're to
Minnesota probably.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, yeah.
Yeah, so I got that long drive. Or no, we're flying into Sioux Falls. Never mind. Yeah, we're just going to Minneapolis, but then we're doing Sioux Falls. I'm not going the extra one to Aberdeen. So
this story's going great.
Well, she was talking about just back roads, and I've never had to drive the back roads in fucking South Dakota. So
I did. I did on the last one.
So
it was great. Like you're driving across a road in the middle of a lake, and you're inches from water on each side. And you're obviously Steve was driving, and I trust the shit out of Steve, but at the same time, I was like, "Can I get out and walk?" Like, I don't like this. Like, if that asphalt gives out at all, we're wet. Like, we're done. So I can see what you're saying.
Ash.
What do you call it?
I say asphalt, but I guess it.
There's an H in there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is asphalt, isn't it?
Yeah.
I say asphalt, but
I say asphalt, but now you say it like that.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say asphalt. That's.
I'm not gonna say it how it's correctly spelled.
Nope. Well, just because something spelled that way doesn't mean it's how it's pronounced.
See what I mean? I sometimes I just say things wrong and it just goes viral and everybody starts saying it wrong with me. I'm so into that. Speaking of buying into dumb shit.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna go there.
So did you recently fall for a scam?
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Good segue. I like it.
When you said that, as soon as you said buying, I was like, oh no.
So how much money did you owe the government that they wanted in Walmart gift cards? Like, tell me the whole story.
So I had just gotten hired on at Kessler's, right? And it's owned by a man named, like, his last name is Kessler. And I got an email from someone claiming to be him. And it said like his first name, last name at Gmail with like a couple numbers, but the numbers didn't seem, I think it was like the year that Kessler's was founded. So I was like, okay. And he was just like, can I have your like number? It's not, I can't have like, I can't access like the system right now or like whatever app that we use. So I was like, yeah, here you go. And I get a text and he's like, hey, like I want to do a little surprise thing for everyone since we're opening up the new store. Like it was very believable. They had details about like a grand new store opening that they were having in a different state. They had details about his like schedule. It was because this man is always in meetings. So if I got someone on the other side of the phone and they're telling me, hey, I'm this person, and they're giving me exact details, I'm like, okay, he wants me to get this stuff ready because I'm the new person. I can't get these like gift cards, right? I can't get them. He's like, I just need you to go somewhere, send me a picture. I want to see the variety they have and make sure we're getting something good. And you would think once I get to Target, I would figure out that maybe this isn't real, because how is he going to pay for it?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking
you're
that as
paying
I'm
for it,
walking
homie.
through. Yeah, I'm thinking that as I'm walking through the door. I'm like, there's no way that like they have charge accounts here. And then of course he picks out the gift cards. And he was like, okay, go ahead, buy them. I was like, no. You're buying them. And he's like, no, you're buying them. I was like, damn, I'm getting scammed.
Damn.
I literally get
So
email. Oh, sorry. Yep.
yeah. So yeah, after that I went back, and yeah, I thought about it every night before I went to bed for the next week.
Yeah, you got fished. And then I think it's important to also, how did they figure out who you are and where you work?
That is the part we don't know, but I keep getting emails like that, and only me.
So somebody's been hacked, or somebody has internal access. That's happening in my company right now, where they'll phone and they'll use language within the company. So we think they used to work there. Like they used to work for us, and they'll be like, oh, I just need you to go to this website, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll be like, yeah, how about the website's www.gofuckyourself.com. Bye, bud. And he just like starts snapping on me. It was like, I know you're not anybody. Come find me. I dare you. Like, I've not been pleasant to these scammers. It's been really interesting. But again, I have the luxury of them phoning me. Yeah. And I know it's fake because they're phoning the store phone, and our retail internet technology does not phone the retail store. So yeah, Mean Joey comes out with those guys.
I wouldn't feel.
I love that.
I think it happens to people all the time. Like I literally,
it does. It fucking does. That's why they keep doing it.
So it happened to our company like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and they literally got like locked out of our account. Like I have like a big multi-million-dollar company that like had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to get our fucking shit back. So now our IT department pretty much had a clean sweep of the IT department, all new people, and they've staffed up. So they're sending out. Like I basically have to do fucking all kinds of training like regularly. Like don't open these emails. Do not respond to this. This is phishing. This is wrong. Don't do this. And it's like every 2 days I have a new email from IT like saying like learn this thing. Don't do it that way. So you're definitely not alone. And
they
scammed.
They shut down our phones for 24 hours 2 days ago, and they were just like, we're just shutting them down. They're phoning every store constantly, harassing, like, we're just shutting down your entire phone system for 24 hours. And that's how bad it is, because like one person falls for it, so they think they can get anybody in, but like there's a lot of money in that shit. So wanted to bring it up and kind of like have you reminisce about it, but also like not make you feel bad. That shit can happen to anybody. You're excited for a new job. You want to do well.
No.
You want to impress the right people. I get it.
I laugh at it now because like in retrospect, I'm like, damn, I really was just excited. And I was like, ooh, I get to be a part of it. But now I can laugh at it. But yeah, the first few days it stung a little bit. I was like, damn, how did I fall for that? Because I was that person. We used to get those kind of calls at Glicks all the time, and I would love getting them because sometimes it was so dead in that mall, nobody was showing up. So I had to entertain myself. So, you got to fuck with them a little bit. And yeah, no, I don't get to do that, but that's okay.
Well,
but yeah,
you do just through email.
Yeah, not as fun.
Your cat is obsessed with something in the background and it's distracting me.
I love it. Yeah, he's just all kinds looking out the window.
Do you want to do a little least fun, most fun?
Yeah. Where's that at? Yep. Okay. So we have this game we like to play. It's something that we created pretty recently. It's a little new segment. So I'm going to give you a few topics, and you're going to tell me what the least fun thing about the topic is and what the most fun thing about the topic is. So pretty simple. So number one here, least fun and most fun, Massonomics Gym.
Least fun. It's sad because not all the iPods work anymore. And those things are like an archive. They're like a beacon of just, they're going to be in an archaeology fucking museum one day. So
like
that's probably
like it's dead itself, or it's not compatible with Tanner's new stereo.
The one that I like had used the most is just like the screen doesn't.
That's
they can get it to work, but I have yet to figure out. My fat fingers and I are just not cooperating with it.
Gotcha.
But my favorite part has probably got to just be like the environment. Every time I go there, no matter the kind of day I had when I walk in, whether I'm there alone or with other people, it's just like, I don't know. Some people have like their secrets. Some people go to church. I go to Massonomics, I go in, everything is washed off me, clean slate, and I'm good to go. So I just go there, I get shit done, clears my head. So yeah, that's probably my favorite part.
Definitely sounds fun. The next one I'll go with, you can kind of answer this, I'm going to say it very broadly. So rodeos, that could be going to a rodeo, that could be your experience as competing in rodeo pageants, etc.
The Garth Brooks song Rodeo.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Least fun, the politics. And I mean like mean girl type of politics. It was very cliquey, like PTA mom, but those PTA moms are alcoholics with attitude problems.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah. It was actually really entertaining as long as you weren't the one under fire, watching everyone else duke it out. That was probably my least favorite part. And it was like very much that type, like no matter whether you're barrel racing or whatever, there was always that toddlers and tiaras kind of vibe. But my favorite part, oh man, what was my favorite part? Definitely just the reward of doing well, because I mean, you're getting a half-ton animal to listen to you and like want to do well with you. So that's pretty satisfying when, you're able to scrap up something nice and cut a check in a rodeo. But yeah.
So as per the Garth Brooks reference, do you have any gold buckles?
I do. I wish I had some out here with me right now. But I actually have like a whole tub full of all the buckles that I've won.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I was, not to toot my own horn, but as a kid, I was definitely really good at it. It's just as I got older, I became more aware of how expensive it was. And then once I became an adult, I was like, yeah, $400 to board a horse. Dude, that's ridiculous. That's like
month.
That's a month.
That's
I
like
think
60.
Go ahead.
That's like such a large portion of what it's like half my mortgage, so fuck that.
Yeah. I think that my interesting takeaway on that one is you became aware of how expensive it is, but not how fucking dangerous it is.
Oh yeah, I never
still haven't included.
Nope. The worst injury I ever got in rodeo was I was goat tying and I was dismounting and I face planted it and like skid across the arena a little bit. And I just like chipped my shoulder because I was like, we were going home and I was like, Mom, like I can't lift my shoulder. And she just took me to the chiropractor and he was like, if I touch this, I'm going to mess everything up. It ended up being fine. They asked if I wanted to get like the bit removed or to see if like it would just like take care of itself, and it just expelled itself. But yeah.
Rodeo is mad dangerous, and we actually have a rodeo here in my town. And the most excited I've ever seen Oren, aside from my son, aside from roller coasters, was rodeo. And I'm sitting there and we're in the front stands of the bleachers, and I was like, buddy, you want to go on rides? He goes, yeah, okay. During a break, and we come back and he just keeps going. So when are they going again? When are they going again? And in my head, I was just like, oh, cool. He's really into rodeo. But then in the back of my head, I was going, you are not allowed to get into rodeo. That's ridiculous. You're 4. You will not be doing this.
Just make him watch 8 seconds and be like, see, this is what'll happen. You'll die. Don't do that. Probably not the best thing for a 4-year-old to watch, but Lane. All right. So rounding out least fun and most fun, Aberdeen. South Dakota for anyone confused.
Aberdeen, Scotland, and
Aberdeen. Not Aberdeen, Washington. Not Aberdeen.
There's an Aberdeen in Washington too.
Yes, I've actually sent a package there.
That's great.
But least fun, uniquely, aside from Tanner, I have an in on like the college and the tea that happens in the college life. So, worst part is the college life, probably. I used to think it was the best part, but as you get older, you realize just how sloppy and messy some people can be. So that, uh, sub under there, the zoo on a college football night. But otherwise, favorite part, Massonomics, for sure.
Wait, so the zoo on a college night
fun part
is least fun?
The zoo is
bad. It's fun, but like you may or may not get swung on.
Oh yeah, 100%. Anything. Yeah.
Man or woman. Like girls, it's
any college night at any. As somebody who went to university in my later years, like in my 30s, not in my 20s, like absolutely know when to go. Whoa, this is stupid. I'm fucking out of here. I remember the one night I was at a party and I was like, I'm going to go to the mob bar that I know is owned by the mob because I feel safer there than I do here tonight.
No, seriously. And like Aberdeen is sometimes just in a league of its own, I swear, because it's a small enough to where everyone knows everyone, but big enough to where you might meet someone new every night. And that's where the chaos begins. I can't even begin to tell you the kinds of things that have went around that like campus because of that exact reason. So like just Aberdeen in general, if you know where to go, it's great. If you don't know, it's a nightmare and it will eat you alive.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily at the Litard Levizi, I have a lot of guides.
Yes.
Which
they
were
know all
mostly,
the good spots.
Which were mostly Tanner, Tommy, and a few other people where I just followed them around. Ended up at weirdo hipster breakfast places in inappropriate t-shirts.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, what? Okay, I heard that when you guys were talking about that. I think it was last week, or was it last week? When did you talk about it?
It's come up twice, I think.
Okay.
So when
what
you
place was it?
Remember when you posted in the Discord, if you know, you know, and you were at some hipster breakfast place? It's called like 2 for 1 or 2 in 1 or something like that. No. Okay. Well, it was that. And I wore the shirt that Karen was talking about on the Huckfin Barbell podcast with Tommy. The one that says lift heavy, eat ass, and attributes the quote to Gandhi. Because I thought we were just going to have some quick breakfast and get out of there and go to the gym. And I ended up in this place full of families. And I probably shouldn't have been as embarrassed because, like, honestly, I'm not that easily embarrassed. But, like, I'm halfway across the continent in a place I don't know or understand. And these people might be hating me right now. It turns out nobody gave a shit but me. But still, like, yeah, you actually were at the place. Like, you posted a picture of the menu, and I assumed you were doing that because that was the place I had worn that shirt. And you got Strength Co recording me. You got people taking pictures. Like, Joy, what's your problem? Why are you so embarrassed? What's going on? And somebody's like, just turn your shirt inside out. And I was like, no, that's even weirder now because I've got to wear this shirt for the rest of the day. But yeah, either way, that shirt's fucking hilarious. And I don't think I've worn it since. Also, an interesting thing is wearing that shirt, telling Tom that I wore that shirt in Aberdeen, while also not wearing any of his shirts because it'll make people want to talk to me because they're too provocative, is an interesting crossroads of my life. I just don't buy into the alpha male shit. There you go. Said it out loud. Finally said it out loud. Keith, help me.
I want to know why you don't like washing your knee sleeves and do they stink? Because nobody wants to be around a stinky pair of knee sleeves, Tyler. Nobody wants that.
You know, I would say it's superstition, but genuinely, it's just like I don't even think there's a soap strong enough to save them at this point.
Do you leave them at the gym hanging up, or do you pack them away? Because I think literally just keeping them air dried is what like is 90% of keeping sleeves not stinking. So if they just live in your bag, they're going to be horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get two. So I would just keep a pair in your bag maybe for when you travel, but then just keep a pair at Massonomics on the pegs. Because yeah, I don't know. I keep all my knee sleeves aired out, and like I don't have any stinky knee sleeves, but every time my friends come over and pull out their fucking still wet from like a 3 day ago squat session sleeves, I'm like, I can smell those as you're taking them out of the bag. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. And now that it's warming up, it's getting worse. I intend on just buying a brand new pair of sleeves before the meet starts. Like they're just gonna be like my rough one,
Yeah, no, I got
my secondary, and then just leave the other ones to be my comp.
Yep.
Um
Definitely make sure you at
but
least get a few sessions in them though, because
oh yeah.
don't save them for
Okay.
at least like the last do at least like the last 3 squat sessions in them because they're gonna take a minute to break in.
So
yeah.
as somebody who works now in the alcohol department of Kessler's, you take a bottle of vodka and you take distilled water and you go 50-50 and you put it in a spray bottle and you just spray them. If you don't care about the color, you might off color them a little bit, but as the alcohol evaporates, it'll take the smell with them.
Oh.
And that way, like that's essentially what Febreze does, but Febreze uses just like 15 times more chemicals. Vodka and water will remove most smells.
Interesting.
Then you don't have to use bleaches, you don't have to use anything harsh, anything that'll affect it. Like it's literally just the alcohol content of the vodka. But like don't use Grey Goose, obviously, because like don't pay that much.
No, I'd just probably use like a Kharkov or something. We've got so many of just like those big like handle plastic vodkas that are like $12.
Yep. As long as the alcohol content is high and the sugar content is low, this hack will work. So I understand that Absolute vodka might be the best one to use for that kind of thing, but that'll help remove the smell out of most fabrics without having to wash them, because washing obviously beats them up, dries them, does a lot of things to them but that alcohol spray will probably work. That was an old Joan Rivers told me that.
This is funny. Evan's giving you all this information, isn't he?
Who?
I've got a variety. I don't honestly. I'll just copy and paste and edit a little bit here. I don't keep track of who gave us what specifically. I did get a lot of I think the one thing that was similar, and all 3 people that gave me stuff back was Game of Thrones appeared in everyone's thing. So let's talk about some Game of Thrones. Did you watch it from the beginning? You're just a big fan. Like, is it a show you rewatch for comfort now? How'd you like the last episode, the last couple episodes? Like, where are you at on Game of Thrones?
Oh gosh. All right. Well, this is how it started. So before the Lift Hard Live Easy meet, I got really sick. I had a wisdom tooth that chipped. I got infected, so I had to get surgery. And then right afterward, either right before or right afterwards, these both happened in May. I also got a kidney infection. So I was like on bed rest for 2 to 3 weeks, and I was on a liquid only diet. So during that time is when I started watching Game of Thrones. And man alive, I watched it twice in that 3 week period. And I have watched it 7 times through since then.
Damn. So 9 total.
Does that include the new season, The House of Targaryen, or?
That's not the name of the show, and that's a game for later, Dick.
I watched House of the Dragon like only 3 times.
Jesus, I watched
I don't know
it
if it was worth
once.
3 times. That was a maybe twice. I don't know. It was okay, but it's definitely not the same.
No, that was why I had to rewatch it. So I was like, okay, maybe I just wasn't paying attention the first time, and the third time I was like, okay, maybe I missed context.
There's no way this sucks. I'm watching it again.
Yeah, that's literally. I was like, wait a minute. I have hope though. I'm reading the book, and reading the book gives me a lot more perspective on the show, just because the book is written from a maester's perspective, like as if a maester is like writing a book about the history of Targaryen.
Yep.
So it's a lot different approach than Game of Thrones was. But man, I'm so glad that I watched Game of Thrones before I read the books, because if you try to read those books without watching the show, the world building is wild. There's so much, like such great detail, and they do a really good job at comparing, at like making the two alike until the second book. But about how I feel about the last episode, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So if they've seen it, I would not. I don't know how this will time up, but spoilers. I hated it.
I think most people.
Yeah,
it's a fair assessment.
Like
I hated the entire last season from the start, from the Starbucks incident all the way to the last episode. And one of the stupid things was like, I didn't really care about it until my friends invited me to parties. And at that party, one of my friends died like halfway through the season. So we kept the parties going for them. And I was like, I'm still fucking watching this shit. Like with your Starbucks episodes and your bullshit killing of the mountain and everything they did. And don't be afraid to do spoilers. I don't remember a lot from it, but I remember hating it. It's like, it's been a couple of years. If you haven't watched it, you're not going to watch it, Tanner. And
The Wire, yeah, one of these days.
So yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was like they had 4 toddlers in a room and they were like, finish this for us. And they were just like, well, what if tap, tap, tap. What if like this guy defeats this guy and this guy defeats this guy? Yeah. Okay. He falls off the tower. He like terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's so many things, like you can kind of just tell what goes to the turn of being based off books to people that write shows and movies solely start writing it. And it's funny, in like the books, I nerd out on this so much. It's definitely like a special interest thing of mine. It's I love it so much. But end of book 1, when Daenerys has like dragons and they're sitting on her, like she just came out of the pyre where Khal Drogo was burned, all that stuff. The dragons are brought back into the world, whatever, yada yada yada. In the book, they are actually sucking on her titties. Like they are nursing on her. So when they say that she's the mother of dragons, because I think in season 2 or season 3, Jorah's like, them are not your babies, just leave them behind. Yes, they are. And that shit still pisses me off to this day, because I'm like, Jorah, you know damn well that those are her children. But ever since then, that like throughout the show and just reading that first part in the book, I think if they would have even just added that little tidbit of like the dragons actually doing that, because we know that they have no problem showing graphic scenes in the show.
They added shit that wasn't there mostly.
I saw Hodor's penis like twice in the show.
They when God, what's his face? Jaime Lannister essentially essays Cersei. That's not in the books. Why would you add that and take away the nursing dragons? Why would you add something offensive and shocking and take away something that contributes to the storyline?
Yeah. Yep. And people like the argument of like Daenerys already losing her mind. I don't like, after season 6, maybe a little bit, like I can start to see, like, I don't want to say it unravel. As soon as she kind of hits Dragonstone / I don't remember what the other name for it was, but as soon as she hits Dragonstone, Storm's End, there we go.
Yeah.
Like shit changes. That's when like that shift happens. But before that, no. Everything she did, it needed to happen. It needed to happen. I will ride for Daenerys 110%. Should she have burned the innocents in season 8? Probably not. I think if she just burned the Red Keep, I think that would have been enough. Some people are going to die. It's war. The people in the Red Keep, that's tough. That's tough, but what are you going to do? I think if she would have just kept it to that, it would have been fine.
Yeah, you're definitely all in on that show. Do you have so you kind of you caught it very late though. You pretty much caught it like after it was over or right at the tail end. So one thing that I do when I'm really obsessed with shows like that I'm like listening to it, they come out, week to week, year to year, is I do like a companion podcast. Is that something you've ever gone and searched out of like people like they'll be literally like for as much as you've watched, there's like 10 different or 20 different podcasts that'll break down every single episode and just talk about them in detail. Is that something you've gone out of your way to find or consumed?
Not a podcast per se, but there is this gal on TikTok and she's called the Song of Ice and Fire Historian, and she basically just knows everything in and out about the universe of Game of Thrones, like how some people really know the Harry Potter universe or Lord of the Rings and all the lore behind it. Like it's almost like its own actual place with histories. That's kind of like what she does. And she knows a lot of more insider information. Like she's worked with the team that helps with writing the book and works with George R. Martin. So she's got like more intel than we do, or like than the general reader probably would. So I love reading that stuff because I love fantasy and just like lore of sorts. And I think it's just a fun little thing to read. It makes me think of like Chronicles of Narnia, just how deep entwined those universes go and how involved people get in it.
I dig it. Well, I could talk about Game of Thrones all day, but I think we might lose some listeners unless.
No, actually, every time we nerd out on something, I think this is the first Game of Thrones nerd out we've had.
I think it is too. That's why I was kind of excited because it's actually one of the like few things Joe and I can both go like, oh, we actually have extensive knowledge on this, so good deal.
Yeah, every time we do that, people clue in. Okay, I'm gonna do three rapid fire. And I'll give you like, let's say a minute or 2 minutes on each. Okay. What's your favorite rodeo event?
Barrel racing.
Which one?
Barrel racing.
Heard that 100 times before. Why?
That was the one that I just started with. My first horse was a barrel racing horse. He was a little quarter pony. His name was Bronc, and he taught me how to ride. He taught me how to pick myself up off the ground, literally and metaphorically. And he was kind of just a big pillar to build the rest of my foundation off of. So yeah, that's why I love barrel racing. He kind of got me hooked on it.
So to clarify, barrel racing is heats between barrels. Like you just literally just run circles around barrels or figure eights.
Cloverleaf pattern is what it's technically called. Yes.
Yeah. And that's just, it's how fast you can do it around those barrels.
Yep. Yes. Pretty much. They have like a line and you just go across it, turn the barrels and cross back or come back across it.
Okay. Damn it. Did something just get deleted?
I just deleted
okay.
Space,
no. But... Would you ever consider bodybuilding?
I actually just had this conversation with my boyfriend the other day because after Massonomics, I'm going to do a few hypertrophy blocks. Yes, but I think I would need to be in a point in my life where I would definitely need to be more of an adult. Probably like later 20s to even earlier 30s is probably when I would consider it. When my life hopefully is settled down a little bit more and just like things like student debt are like paid off, where I can invest in it just because it's so expensive and it's so time consuming and there's so much that goes into it. Whereas powerlifting, like as long as I'm hitting my protein goals, my protein, carbs, fats, and my calories, like that's as extensive as like my nutritional plan goes. Whereas bodybuilding, it's everything counts. And I just don't want to invest that much into something like that. But maybe down the line, I'd probably do more like physique figure just because I've got too big of a back to like let it go. And do wellness.
It sounds like you're partway there. If you're already counting your protein and your calories and your carbs and all that, most of us aren't.
Powerlifting stuff.
No, yeah, is it?
And bodybuilding's a whole different animal, and if you're
absolutely, but I mean, if you're already tracking that shit, you're at the next level.
Body issues.
Okay, last one. What's easier to train, horses or people?
Probably, I'm gonna still say people because although horses, like, both of them can go off and get injured and like not tell you, I have learned until like it comes time to for it to actually matter, which is hilarious. Um, but otherwise, people just because I relate to them. They say, coach, I couldn't help it. Like I know it was an RPE 7 day, but I had to go for those 2 extra reps because it felt so good. I'm like, you know what? I would have done it too. It's fine. But just like, don't do it again. Otherwise, you try to explain fatigue to them, and it's one of those things. If they don't want to listen, they'll learn eventually when it comes week 4 or 5 and things just freaking suck. But yeah, definitely them. Horses can't give you feedback either.
All right, Keith, what do you got now?
I think my last thing I want to know about is just tell me about dressing up the kitties like dragons from Game of Thrones. And is that a thing? Is there any pictures of that we can see after this? Because that just sounds precious to me.
Oh my gosh, that was the plan this last Halloween. But the only one it came. So the thing about Jack is he doesn't like his like chest to be touched very much. So he can't wear costumes. He could wear like the wings for a little bit, but he would start to like kind of tweak. So I try to keep him out of it. And then Morris, as you see it, he's like super long and like skinny. So putting him in costumes, unless it's like a knit sweater, he just drowns in them. And Nick is too small. He's like a little teacup. So yeah, that didn't work out. But this year I found an actual lady on Etsy that makes custom costumes for cats for relatively affordable prices. And Evan looks like Jon Snow, my boyfriend, and I am going to get a wig on and go as Daenerys. And I fully intend on getting these guys costumes.
Nice.
To be my dragons.
I will anxiously wait to see those pictures of the kitty dragons. But I guess one more thing before we probably move into some other stuff is one of your nicknames that I saw was not Ty, because she did not like to be called Ty. We know that, but someone said that a nickname you had was Tiller. I'm assuming it's in like Rhoda Tiller, like.
Actually,
or no.
We were so the way that this came to
like
be.
A till machine.
No, do you know Bryson Tiller?
No.
Okay, that is probably okay. That explains. So I was at a like I think I would not even call it a party, a very small social gathering after like I think it was a basketball playoff or something. And one of my girlfriends, like Bryson Tiller, he's an R&B singer. He was playing over the speaker, and she just went to say Tyler while listening to Bryson Tiller, and she said Tiller, and it was one of those ha 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 ha. And yeah, it just kind of stuck ever since. It's not a very exciting story, but I like Tiller. I think it's fun, but the older I get, it was definitely a lot more. It was cooler when I was a party animal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Nicknames get old quick, I think, as you get a little older. Did you have any of the FMKs or Rushmore sticking out you want to jump at, Joey, or just good to move in? I don't know where I'm not sure how late we got started, but we're already looks like
I had a Mount Rushmore and it lost me. Oh, okay, yeah. Mount Rushmore of chocolates.
So am I listening like top 4?
Yep.
Is that what? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, no, okay. Jeez, I should explain this Mount Rushmore thing.
You have to explain. Yeah, it's a brand new game. We just came up with
what the
today.
hell? Yeah. It absolutely only belongs to us. Nobody has stolen it from us yet. And it's just like your top 4. Like if you were to build a mountain of your favorite this subject, what would you build? And it is my understanding that you have a sweet spot for sweets.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to go with. Actually, do you prefer chocolates or gummies?
Chocolate.
Then let's fucking balloons. We'll go chocolates. Your Mount Rushmore of chocolates.
Okay. So I am a white chocolate fan. So if I'm.
Hold on. What is white chocolate?
I don't. I don't know.
Okay, so I also love it. Like, I'm not, this wasn't me just like trying to like harass you. Like, I fucking love white chocolate. I still don't know what it is. I'm
No,
not
I don't
I'm not
have a
gonna
clue.
Google it. Like, this is not the time to do that. Like, the now is the time to be confused and look silly for a few seconds. But okay, so we both don't know what it is. Go ahead with your 4.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, definitely white chocolate. Honestly, it kind of takes the cake. I'm gonna do types of what I like the chocolate on, right? So we got number 1, white chocolate Reese's. They take the cake. And then number 2, white Kit Kat.
Hell
Number
yeah.
3, we've got Carmelo or Carmelos. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Probably.
I call them cremelos.
Definitely. What you just is that's
No, I'm wrong.
Carmelo.
I'm wrong.
Carmelos are great.
Yeah, I call them cremelos, but I'm wrong
I
on
think that's
purpose on
4.
that one. Yeah,
Is
no, that was
3
only
or
3.
4?
That was
3?
only 3. You had your Reese's,
Oh.
your Kit Kat, your cremelos, and then you didn't have a 4th one.
Number 4, I'm probably going to have to go with, I think 4 rotates. It depends on if I'm in a nutty mood, as in peanuts, or a nutty mood as in coconut. Because if it's coconut, then those little almond joys, I freaking love those things. But if I'm in a nutty mood, then it's gonna be like Snickers.
Ugh, coconut's a trash.
It's been a popular topic the last couple of weeks.
It has been. It's very divisive. It's been very divisive in the Discord. Just how much people either hate or love. There's nobody that's like content.
I would say I'm content. Like I can't do like a coconut cream pie. That's way too much. Or even like coconut rum. Heebie-jeebies.
I can't handle any. Like, I bought the Ghost Ocean Water, which is apparently coconut and something, and I almost threw out the whole 2 bags. This is like $40 worth of hydration. I was just like, this is fucking trash. I'm not touching it. Luckily, they have a blue raspberry overtone to it that it doesn't. But if that was pure coconut, I would just throw it out. I would just, nope, can't drink it. Absolutely not. I hate coconut in every absence, every instance.
Yeah, I was like, what word did he say?
Look,
I didn't even catch it. Y'all
it's
are better than me.
It's 10:30 at night.
It is.
Hey, it's 9:30 over here.
Yeah, I'm glad I looked at my. I don't have DM. I don't have Instagram alerts on. I just happened to be on Instagram and I saw a message from you, and she was like, "We're doing it at 8:30 Central Time Zone, right?" And I was like, no, that would be an hour from like when we should have started. So no.
Yep, should have made that more clear.
Yeah, I was literally.
I turned. I sent it like 4 times. You check the DMs. I specifically put EST and all that shit.
See, and that's terrible. I think I meant. I don't know how I didn't like register the Eastern time. Because I looked over it. I when I messaged you, I was looking over the thing and I was reading it. I was like, okay, this is the time. I don't know how I didn't register it, but thank God I did. Like just double check because I was standing there and I had like hair dye on my eyebrows, hair dye on my hair, and I was just about to just quick shower, rinse it off. And I was like, I'm gonna shoot him a text just because this determines what kind of shower I'm about to take. Like I'm about to jam out in here for 30 minutes, or am I just gonna rinse off and do my business? So yeah.
I hear you. I'll hit you with a quick FMK while we kind of figure out what we're gonna do next. Where did it go? I just had one. Okay, so FMK, let's go Game of Thrones, Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon, FMK.
Oh no.
So FMK, Game of Thrones, Young Sheldon, Big Bang Theory.
I'm gonna have to kill Big Bang Theory.
Okay. You like Young Sheldon that much? Wow.
I do. I love Young Sheldon. There's a very specific reason why I like Young Sheldon, but I don't think I can say that on here. I'm gonna have to marry Young Sheldon because I feel like it's inappropriate to fuck Young Sheldon. And I will fuck Game of Thrones.
I love that logic.
It's a very good answer.
Good stuff. I dig it. No, that's cool. I like we watched the first season of Young Sheldon. And I just don't think we ever got back into it. I see clips about it all the time though, like the one where the dad beats the shit out of the abusive drunk dad of like the his brother's girlfriend or whatever, and he's just like, "Do you want to step outside?" And he just says, "Why not?" And then it just like cuts to like it's just like the closing scene or whatever. And it's just like that's awesome. But like his dad was a piece of shit though, wasn't it? Because didn't his dad leave his mom like in like the adult in Big Bang Theory? Like his dad is just like an afterthought, like that just said he like left his mom and was never a character. But then they completely took you know different discretion with that in the young Sheldon, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch it play out, especially like watching Young Sheldon first and then watching Big Bang
Oh, okay.
Theory.
You went that route.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I actually hated Big Bang Theory so much I couldn't watch Young Sheldon. So
See, I didn't like Big Bang Theory until Young Sheldon, and because I was the same way. I was like, I can't fucking do it. Like this guy's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
actually, Sheldon was the only thing I liked about Big Bang Theory, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I might have a touch of the tism, so I understand kind of a lot of stuff that comes from Sheldon. It was actually what I specifically don't like about the show is that it wasn't funny. Is that if you take away any of the laugh tracks, there's no actual jokes or punchlines in that show. Everything is catchphrases or insults. And if you're a nerdy person, so if you were a person into Dungeons and Dragons and into those kinds of things, that show actually mocks you. In my opinion. In my opinion, of course, this is all personal. So I felt like that wasn't really a show for nerds. That show was a show for Haley Cuoco, who was, I can't remember her character's name. I just remember her because she's also great. Penny, thank you. She's in a lot of other stuff. She was the celebrity of that show. So a lot of the time, all the jokes and everything were dedicated to her. And all she was doing was mocking the nerds. So when I kind of felt that happening, I was like, I'm out forever. So if there's something else to be had from Young Sheldon, then I'll definitely, give it a watch because I'm interested. Sheldon was a character. When he showed up in the Muppets, I fucking shit. Like I was so excited to see him in the Muppets. So I'm willing to be wrong.
Honestly, I liked Young Sheldon a lot more than Big Bang Theory because there was things like, I don't know, at the very end, for instance, like Penny, she says that she doesn't want kids. And that's like the theme throughout the whole last season. And then like the last 2 episodes, Penny is pregnant and magically fine with it. And that's just like, why would you open the door just to slam it shut? Yeah. And like there's so much open-endedness to that too, because it's like, okay, but is she actually okay with it? Or is she just acting okay with it for Leonard? Like there's a lot of like little plot lines that I definitely think just kind of could have had better writing or just better thought put into them. But Young Sheldon is a nice, like feel good sit down show with nice laughs. Have you seen New Girl?
Yes.
No.
New Girl's good.
Okay. Damn. Well, that doesn't help me with you, Joey, but
no,
I feel like it's kind of like...
I don't watch sitcoms in general. Sitcoms are not my jam. The 3-camera sitcom, the this camera sitcom, it's just kind of not my thing. I also don't like things that pretend to be documentaries that aren't really documentaries. So I wasn't really into The Office or Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I don't really.
Parks and Rec is fucking incredible, but once you ask, why are you filming this? And you don't get an answer, that's when the tism kicks in.
I think you'd like Young Sheldon. I really liked it. It just felt really the first season. I do agree. It's kind of like, like I feel like the actors are kind of just getting into the mode of who they're playing and what their role is. Because season 2 is when I actually first started watching it. I didn't even watch the first season right away. I started because my friend Haley and we watched it together, and we literally watched 2 seasons in one singular night. We were up for like 12 hours. It was
Jesus.
Yeah. And we were like honed into that TV. And for 2 hours, it was those 2 seasons were the reason I got hooked. Because the first one, when I went through and watched it the second time, I was like, the first season freaking like sucks. Like it's just awkward. The energy, like they're not really compatible until like season 2. You can tell the actors are more comfortable. They know the roles. And I like Mima. I think you should watch it and pay attention to what Mima says because she's a smartass and the stuff that she says is so funny and it's the kind of adult, like just older woman I want to be one day, minus the alcoholism and cigarette problem.
Yeah, those are good traits to not have for sure.
What I don't like The Good Doctor. Have you guys watched The Good Doctor? Is that worth watching? I watched one episode and I actually laughed so hard all the way through it I couldn't fucking stand it. So keeping in mind that was also from the creator of House, and I love House.
No, I never got into Good Doctor.
Good. Okay.
I've seen like bits and pieces, but just like honestly what's posted on TikTok, and some episodes are interesting, but there's so many medical shows out there and they all are the same to me, to be honest. Like
They're all
Do they all sound the same?
yeah.
They all sound the
It's
same.
like if you could watch Grey's Anatomy and just, swap out the characters, and it's very lot less sex in The Good Doctor, but
That's a guilty pleasure for me though. I watch a lot of that shit. I will admit I watch a lot of medical.
Do you watch Dr. House?
I used to watch it a lot with my mom.
Fucking
That was
loved
kind of
House.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I love his attitude. That's how I wish I could be with people, but I can't.
Just finish the puzzle by any means necessary, right?
I'm a being an asshole, but that too.
But I saved your life. Figure it out.
Yep. There we go.
So that was your FMK?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did Mount Rushmore, did FMK.
I think we hit all the high notes. Yeah.
Hey, we did it. God, I hate those fucking balloons.
And I will say your third the one girl did get back to me with a last minute DM with some stuff. So we have a lot of information. We're probably not gonna be able to get to all of it. So I think I'm content with most of what we did. If we want to move on to unpaid or underrated,
I want to pull an audible. One single audible tonight.
Do it.
It is not unpaid or underrated. It's fake or cake.
Oh, that's even better.
These balloons are going to drive me insane. It's fake or cake. And why, Tyler, are we talking about cake? Yeah.
But okay. I don't know why I'm pointing to myself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're Tyler. Me? This Tyler? No, the other one here?
Okay. What am I saying?
You have a program, right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about it. That was your chance to plug your booty. Yes. Build a cake.
Okay. So the Booty Bakery, I was in between jobs, and this is when I was really like trying to hone in on my coaching and stuff. And while I was programming, I was like, I want to get these girls more information to help them be successful in places that like maybe I can't be there all the time. So I started writing up a plan for them, and then I was like, why don't I just write a book? So I basically, essentially, it's a mini ebook. It's about 30 some pages, and it tells women it goes over how to calculate their TDEE, like their calories, how much they need for maintenance and a surplus. And I let them know about the importance of taking in calories and the macros and why fats are important, why carbs are important, how they play a part in the recovery process. Just because, so many women were taught carbs are bad, fats are bad, no sugar, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, no, you need to fuel your body. And maybe the last little bit of pounds that you're wanting to lose so bad is probably because you're eating less and not more, and just things like that. How their menstrual cycle incorporates into lifting, and just myths around lifting for women too as well. So it's definitely centered towards women. But I mean, really anyone can use it. They just have to bypass the cycle portions of it. But it also at the very end, it has printable pages. So I have a daily tracker, a weekly tracker, and a monthly tracker, so they can track their progress in whatever intervals work best for them. I know I'm a daily person. My day-to-day routine is really important for me, but I also know people that work on a weekly clock or even a monthly clock, just because their weeks are different each week of the month. So there's something in there for everybody, but definitely targeted towards women. And I was really proud of it. I did research on it, probably more research or as much research as I've done on anything since college. So it felt really good to make and put out. I've sold a few copies. I honestly, life has been so busy. I haven't been able to promote it as much as I wanted to. Recently, I kind of dropped it and then had to disappear because life just got crazy. But I was proud of it, and I still am. And I'm hoping to do more renditions of it in the future that's even more in depth with little like GIF, like have it be a digital book to where there's like little GIFs that show like how to do the exercises and things like that, and really just kind of step it up. But this is version 1, if you will.
And where can we find it?
It's on Etsy, which is linked in my Instagram bio. But if they go to Etsy and look up the Booty Bakery, it looks like a cookbook, but it is not.
So the thing is, it's a cookbook to build your cake, essentially.
Yes.
That's the pun that I like it.
Yeah, we'll build a pound cake. So for one night and one night only, cake or fake, which is also a huge thing on the internet right now. Keith, do you know what that is?
No, you lost me. Fake what? Cake.
So
and like
if you cut into it, is it real or is it or is it not real? So instead of unpaid and underrated or unpaid or overrated, we're gonna go cake or fake. Cake is underrated.
Is awesome. Cake is underrated and fake is overrated because no one wants to be fake.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Okay, jump in.
Cake being the good one. So we have 6 handpicked topics. We actually have several here, but we're gonna try to keep it to 6. We're just gonna cherry pick the ones
we do have like 6.
Yeah, but it's because a lot of them are just stuff we couldn't hit, and some of them we already took over. So you'll just use some druthers and go cake or fake with it. So I'm gonna kick it off first here. I'm gonna go with TikTok. Cake or fake TikTok?
If you would ask me 2 years ago, I would say cake. But other than that girl that talks about the Game of Thrones stuff, I'm gonna say fake. I don't use it nearly as much. Reels, I feel like, is where most of the memes are at. Is like in that little. If you can like craft your explore page on Instagram to your sense of humor, it's a gold mine.
Nice. Okay, so TikTok, we're gonna go with fake. Okay. So this one, I'm gonna take a long shot on this one. If you don't know what it is, you should. I'll throw another one at you. So, in the Game of Thrones world, so one of his novellas, I believe. So, cake or fake, A Tale of Dunk and Egg.
I don't. Okay, I'm gonna say cake.
So you have read it?
I haven't read it, but
okay.
I've like.
Because I believe it's going to get made into a miniseries.
Yes, I am on a Reddit thread that like talks about it. So I haven't read it, but I know kind of a general idea going into it. I'm very excited to see Mr. Aemon as the little boy. But yes, cake.
Yeah,
always cake.
Definitely find that. I think I did it on an audiobook a few years, probably like a decade ago now, honestly. I think I found it where it was like all compiled into like one listen, so I didn't have to go buy like this chapter here and that chapter there or whatever. So my third one, let's go. Kate, you want to go 4 each? So my fourth one, so my next one, I'm gonna go with 4-H.
I'm gonna say cake.
Okay. So when you were in 4-H as a kid, that's what I gathered. I think I came up on the Google.
Yes.
Now, did you guys have a 4-H camp? Because like I was in 4-H as a kid, but I didn't do any like the farmer. Like the whole thing is like it's Future Farmers of America, or that's something it's adjacent to that. And we just did it so we could go to like this awesome like camp for like a week-long camp. It just was associated with 4-H, but like I didn't do shit to do with like the farming aspect of it.
I didn't do any of the farming stuff. I was not very intellectual in regards to agriculture or anything with crops, but enable for me to compete in barrel racing and like pole bending and stuff, I had to do the horse show portion. That was when I lived in North Dakota, and there's like bylaws are different than South Dakota. So there you have to do like the halter and the horse show stuff, which I actually was probably better at than some of the rodeo stuff at the time. But I also did like drawing and painting, and I was a lot more ambitious as a child. I can only have one hobby now, but I would say cake. It taught me a lot. I got to do a lot of different things, and I think it was good for my childhood. I don't really use any of those skills now, but they were fun at the time.
Okay, good to know. Not every day I meet someone that was also a fellow 4-H'er, so that's pretty cool. My last one, I think I'm gonna go with. Okay. So, feet. What's your opinion on feet?
Fake.
I I knew that was going to be the answers. I wanted to hear why, and I just wanted to get at least one negative one in there because you were pretty positive.
They're just,
What's the deal with feet?
man, I think it was as a kid. I don't know if your parents ever had you do this, but after like they had like a long day, they'd be like, "Please come rub my feet," and
Oh,
just like, yeah,
that's
yeah, my
nasty.
mom ruined it for me, and I hope she knows that.
Oh, that's like trauma inducing.
Yeah. So now when people like try to touch me with their feet, especially their bare ass feet, I'm like, get it away from me.
Feet are.
Do you make your boyfriend wear socks in bed then? Not like just like that's just. I didn't mean in bed like
No,
that. I
no,
just
he's
meant like.
got long ass toenails, so his claws touch me long before his feet do.
Get him some good toenail clippers for a present.
He's got feet do.
Well, I know Big Mofo is very disappointed in your answer, but that kind of is what it is. So I will hand the baton to Joey.
All right. I might have 4, might have 3. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. Unpaid or underrated? Cats as dragons.
Unpaid / cake.
Cake. Cake or fake?
Yes. Cake.
And why is that?
Well, it's cats. So honestly, whatever you put them in, they're gonna look adorable. But as a dragon, all the better. All the better.
All right. Cake or fake? An Aberdeen specialty, Brock the Rock.
Cake. Oh my gosh, that little rock has caused more of a tizzy in a single summer than anything else that could happen. I love the group that was made because of that rock, and I don't understand still. I think it was like 5 different vehicles last summer got stuck on the damn thing, and I don't understand how that happened. I really don't.
It's called stupidity, and it's plaguing a lot of us.
That's a good point.
What do you mean I can't keep going forward? Why don't I go forward harder?
I mean, you feel like they would notice when the front end of their car is like a foot off the ground.
They're not gonna notice that. All right, cake or fake? Mirror selfies.
Oh, cake. Those are my forte. I love mirror selfies.
I know.
No way.
I think I have you on two accounts, and I'll just be like going and just it's a lot of mirror selfies.
Big Murph
you hate to like record yourself sometimes. Well, I mean, I record myself plenty, but flexing in front of people, like I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable with me. Just like,
not in a gym. No, nobody would be comfortable.
I'll go hide to the. Well, I mean, they're in the back room, back, and I'm like popping a booty cheek or something. Like I don't want to put them in a comfortable situation, so I just go hide in the bathroom where nobody can judge me, and I won't put them in an uncomfy situation.
Okay, so Tanner, I think the number one answer to what are we going to put in Massonomics Gym to make sure people can get strong, stay strong, and use their strength is a posing spot.
Posing room, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a posing room. Obviously, you don't have the space for that. I get that. But like that sounds like that might be next. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they have like that little spot right outside the gym, like where those other lockers are when you first walk down the stairs.
Yep.
I would gladly donate mirrors to that cause to just put up some mirrors right there. Because I mean, that's such a great spot. People coming and going, you get privacy.
Well, I don't think the mirror would be the problem. I think the lighting would be the problem. You'd need some good god lights with the overheads and that kind of thing going. So there you go. Yeah. You've heard it here now. That now's your chance, Tanner. Get a posing room in the stairwell at Massonomics Gym.
When we all show up Friday, I want to see mirrors right when I walk downstairs.
And it's like I was at the Arnold and I was like, oh, I really want to try on this shirt. Like, I don't want to get naked. And the dude looked at me and was like, you're at a bodybuilders expo and you're afraid to take your shirt off. And then I was like, you know what? You're right, sir. So I'm just saying maybe at the gym, don't be afraid of the mirrors. Last one, I guess. Last one. Cake or fake? Rude comments on Instagram.
Like on, are you say on my post or in general?
Yeah.
I have an option here.
In
Okay. In general.
general, if I'm bored, they're not cake in the sense that people are writing them, but I love being an internet warrior and going to battle in people's comment section.
In favor of the lifter, or in favor
Yes.
of the locked
Because it's
account saying
typically
dumb shit?
in favor of the lifter. Typically, of course, it's usually women benching. And I will always ride under the comment sections. Especially like the IPF ladies, because I'm like, hey, you can't you can't say stuff about people will say stuff about depth, but like I've tried, I don't know, the people that like cave like their chest in and stuff, that's just hard. So anyone that tries to give crap is just because they haven't tried it or done it before, or they have and they sucked at it. And now they're mad that they can't do it.
And they're always locked accounts. That's actually like my thing. Like if there was a thing you could take away from my social media presence, it would be locked accounts can't hurt your feelings.
Yes.
Because they're fucking losers with locked accounts who probably don't even lift. Like I had some guy on one of Matt's things the other day go, "Do you even lift, bro?" And I was like, "Bud, I can probably rep your max for fucking relax." But again, it's just they're locked accounts, so they're not going to put themselves out there. They're just going to come and mock people that do. So I just thought I saw that was on there. I noticed you and I do that a lot together every once in a while, where somebody will say something and it's either me or you on one of their posts, like attacking them. So I just wanted to bring that one up there. Are we losing him? Wow, Jan's right into the microphone.
Sorry.
Tyler, do you have anything you want to ask the hosts of Unpaid and Underrated?
Yeah, what was your guys' favorite part? Aside from Lift Hard, Live Easy and Tanner's Backyard, what were your guys' favorite parts of Aberdeen? Or your favorite part? Question mark.
That's the steak restaurant I went to right after the meet was pretty damn good. I think it was like over by Target or something. I don't know. It was a nice fancy little
Maverick?
steakhouse. That was Maverick. My wife and I went there, and like the weekend was very crew all together. So I was just like, all right, I need to like promise my wife like one nice like hour alone to just go get like a nice $50 steak and just kind of like relax before the chaos of going out to the bar. But like that, as far as like not Massonomics related, just Aberdeen specific, yeah. Going to Mavericks with my wife was awesome.
Aw, I love that.
I joked earlier about the drive-in, but the drive-in was fucking wonderful. Like it's so gorgeous to drive through all these inlets and all these lakes and ponds, and all of just the amazing landscape was incredible. And then we were staying at I forget the hotel, but the bar at the hotel.
You were at the
The American.
Yeah.
Yeah, the American. Amazing. And the girl working like knew Tommy from some like weird, like I used to work in the same office as his wife type of realm. And everywhere else we went, nobody knew who Massonomics was. What is that banner? Why are you guys here? Yeah. And she was like, no, I know exactly what's going on. So that was kind of cool too. Like she was very accommodating and made things a little more comfortable. So that was kind of cool. But we landed late Friday night and left early Sunday. So we didn't really have a lot of in between time. The zoo was fucking incredible, but I don't think I want to do that again. Where I get that fucking hammered. And the pizza place right next to the zoo was not that great. I don't think I will go there again.
You gotta go to the zoo this year because now they have a taco truck that sits outside.
See, that's
and smart. It's so they have steak burritos, and I'm telling you, those will cure anything that you walk out of that bar with.
We all went to this pizza place, and they were just like not going to seat us at all. They were just like, no,
really?
There's too many of you. We can't. And we were like, the entire back patio's open. It's July. Like, why can't we sit back there? And the dude was nice, but like he was not happy to be serving us because he was also the bartender because they had no servers for outside. Right? Like it was just not like we had to like ask nicely to be served. And that's kind of wild. Like,
Yeah.
We traveled the entire continent to be here. We clearly have money. We are going to spend it here.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you make us feel like we should go somewhere else? So I think that was my least favorite part of it. But the food itself was okay. But then the zoo was fucking wild. The zoo was wild.
Okay. Damn, yeah, that does suck. But I wish I could remember the breakfast place. Because now that is gonna bug me and I would have to dig through my phone.
Yeah, it's got numbers. It's got numbers in the name, and you posted.
Oh, 322.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
it was
wow.
322. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, you were in a great spot to wear that shirt.
Yeah.
that really is that is the post church service.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't want to say that out loud, but I felt that the entire time I was there. That was we were okay until about 10 a.m. and then they got flooded and I was just like, this is the church crowd. I can tell, I can sense. They can see my tattoo. They can see my shirt. And like I sat there with my back to the wall with like the crew being like, Joey, what's your problem? What's your problem? Yeah. Yeah, that was the place. Yeah, won't be going there again.
Oh, that is so funny.
Oh, I earned it. I'm not mad. I earned it.
Yeah, you weathered the storm. You braved it. Good for you. Good job. I'm trying to think. I know I had questions going into this, and of course, once it gets to that, it's kind of like the back when you finish a job interview and you're like, yes, I do have.
Yep. I forgot
that shit down. My last job interview, I had like a fucking like a 10-page. Well, it wasn't that big, but I had like a 30-point questionnaire.
Your last job interview was 11 years ago.
I did do a couple interviews during COVID when I was laid off.
Okay.
But I didn't know what the future of coming back was.
I saw Keith that you've been doing more like strongman stuff. So what do you plan on doing with that? Like, what's your course of action with it?
I just want to have some fun for a while. I've been literally powerlifting for like 8 years, something like that. Just running cycle after cycle, and program after program, and just like doing 2 or 3 meets a year, or just not really doing off seasons. Just fucking meet prep, and then kind of doing whatever, and just not really burned out. I guess burned out on powerlifting is probably true. So when I had the opportunity. So I did a strongman show with my buddy Chris for like a charity thing, like in December last year, so like 6 months ago or whatever, and that was just fun. Like a different crowd. Like the strongman community is just so much more easygoing, and just like ball busting, but just like and it seemed more close knit, at least at like the local gym that I would have access to, and like the one that my buddy's a part of. So when the opportunity came up for that, I was like, yeah, let me see if I can switch over to strongman and just have more fun. And like, I'm spending all that money to go out to Aberdeen. I want to have fun and not be stressed about a meet. And like, my numbers aren't competitive, but I'm competitive. So I won't be as competitive as strongman because I'm still so novice at it. So it's just like, I'm not going to know what I don't know. So I think I should be able to do a few strongman shows before I kind of like figure it out and get obsessed with it and have to move on to something else. So I'm just excited for that. Invested a lot of money in rebuilding the garage gym to like a strongman thing. So I'm obviously a basement gym guy, just solely for powerlifting basically, because I can't do too much strongman stuff down there. But I got an axle, got a log, got crash cushions, borrowed a buddy's Husafelt. I just got a sandbag from another crew member. So like I've got all kinds of stuff to play with in the garage. So what are we like 10 weeks out or something? So I got to figure out how to do strongman. This meet specific's fun because it's like, everything is like, oh, I can do that, or I have done that before. As far as like after the meet, I don't know. I'm lucky that there's a strongman and a powerlifting presence in my city. So I can, if I want to do one each the rest of my life, as long as these gyms are around, like I could do that. Like for this foreseeable future, like, do I see myself, as long as I don't get injured and like I still having fun with strongman, I see myself doing one strongman meet and one powerlifting meet a year versus I have to do 2 powerlifting meets, because it's harder to like time those up and get like a good 6 months between them. And inevitably you either have a 9-month layoff or you have a 3 month layoff, and it's like neither of them are really. It's like no matter what, I'm doing too short of an off season between one of my meets. So I'm just excited. It's interesting. It's new. Gives me the opportunity to break a whole bunch of new PRs because I'm doing lifts I haven't done before, and I get off on that, like just those little micro PRs and being able to track my progress. It's not even like, oh, I'm awesome or anything like that. It's just like, cool, I'm seeing progress. I need that tangible, visible thing. I need to go into my Google spreadsheet and fucking up that rep PR by 2.5 pounds or by 5 pounds. That keeps me motivated for this, so I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. So I'm just
Yeah,
excited for more of that.
I was gonna say that's got to be exciting, just like especially since you've done powerlifting for so long, being a beginner in something again instead of like being somebody that's been in it for a while. I feel like that's gotta be exciting and
Yeah,
just
for
a
sure.
thrill in its own.
And
Joey, what about your prep? How are things going for you? What are your future endeavors or plans on your athletic journey?
Not going amazing. I'm
Oh
pretty sure
no.
I've lost some weight off of all my lifts except bench, which is interesting because bench has always been traditionally my weakest, but it is progressing the best. But at the same time, I'm also the exact opposite of Keith. I'm going to keep doing what I do, and what I lift is what I lift. I don't have any delusions of breaking records, making nationals, any of that shit. I'm going to go in there and lift and have fun, and what I get is what I get. I kind of understand that the return on investment isn't that great. Like, you can't spend $15,000 on your gym to go and place bottom at all of your meets. Like, that would be fucking stupid, but I'm pretty stupid. I'm also going to be doing a lot of strongman going forward. I think very poorly ideaed is I'm going to be doing some strongman every week going into this powerlifting meet in July, because I think once I finally hit masters, I might just transition to strongman. My conditioning is not great. I'm pretty strong for like 1 rep maxes, but I'm not really strong in a generally functional way. Like, grabbing the groceries and running into the house, I'm not as good as I could be. So I will likely be transitioning. Got the rocks outside. I'm already ready. That's the only thing you're missing, Keith. You're missing rocks.
yeah, dude, log press is fun. Like I want to set up like a log press and an actual medley out there or some like before too long, and like I think that would be really fun. Like that's like I'm getting my cardio out of a strongman essentially
Yeah.
now. It's like me just trying to do like 4 reps of a fucking clean and press literally takes like 90 seconds or more to do, and I'm like working the entire time. So like that I'm digging.
I'm not that bad yet. Like, I do think I could have better cardio and functionality, but um, you know, training for 1 rep maxes isn't helping general functionality. So
Sure.
one
Yeah,
day.
I've noticed I've had to do more athletic movements now in our programming, like my coach and I, just because I started to have like overuse in my right leg because that goat tying, that was my dismount leg. But we have to add more functional stuff in just because of that. Like I noticed I was getting stiffer, like my mobility started going down even. I used to never have that problem, like squat depth, and then all of a sudden it was a problem,
Mhm.
So I feel that, and I feel like adding strongman in should help. Like if you're having a plateau, I don't see why that wouldn't help boost things
Just
too.
just pick up the 150 bag and walk back and forth a couple of reps, which I just don't do enough because I'm in the
Hmm.
basement and there's no room. But I can just make
Yeah.
room and just do that a little
Hmm.
more. My mobility is okay, but like a good example is just like running around in the backyard with the kids. Like, I get out of breath a lot faster than I want to. Never used to be that way. Can I still throw my kids for several feet? Yeah, I'm still pretty strong, but like,
And
go ahead.
said I was gonna say maybe not 3 times in a row though.
Yeah, exactly. Like, then I got to go pick them up and throw them again. They're still crying and fighting me. Like, it becomes a hard thing to do. Not that I've tried.
Just don't
Um,
ask him to rub your feet. That's what I've learned from this episode about parenting is don't ask
yeah,
him to
what the
rub your feet.
that was actually fucking wild to me. Oh,
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah.
all right.
Mm-mm.
Is that it? Do you have any more for us?
I think those were the ones that I had, yeah. For
Okay.
now. Yeah.
There is two things I want to point out through this entire episode that have distracted the fuck out of me. Okay. The first one is your eyeliner and eyes lined up directly with the top of your couch for the entire episode, and it has caused a hyperfixation to see how when you move it changes. Just want to say that, but also your couch looks like a sleeping person. And yeah, that has really taken me for a loop for this whole thing. Earlier you probably saw me take a picture
Kitty.
and you yeah,
God, that one was so
there's a
long.
cuddle puddle.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, in case you're wondering why earlier I took a picture of the screen or have just been like hyper fixated for a second, it was the eyeliner thing and it looks like there's a person sleeping there. Just fucking wild.
That's terrifying.
I usually take mini a picture of the screen so I can like post it to Instagram and to the Discord. It's hard. Like I feel like Joey probably thinks I'm like out to mock him because like every other one, like one of her, it's like someone's face is doing something stupid, and it's like I take like 10 pictures and I look at all three faces and I'm like these all like someone's doing something stupid. So it's like it's a task to pick the lesser of the evils of all of them. So
I'm gonna be honest, I never clued in. I don't think. Yeah, I feel like at this point, like, what are you gonna do? He says stuff funny. Like, come at me. Everybody come at me. All right. Well, yeah. Do you want to, go through our affiliates?
Yep. So everybody go help us out. Syndicate Ammonia, Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con 2025. That'll be in Louisville. Use code unpaid at all those things and save anywhere. I think it's about 10% across the board on all that. Help us buy that speedboat. And Instagram, you can find us. We are Unpaid and Underrated Podcast. Our website is unpaidinternpodcast.com. We have a YouTube. Please go like, subscribe, and comment on our videos over there. I am Keith Honeycutt. You can follow me at Keith Honeycutt73 on Instagram. Go follow my Orange Gym, the No Wine Cellar. And then we got Big Joey. Where are you at, buddy?
I'm at the No Wine Garage. You can find me there. Or at just my name, Joey_Molesco. I'm Elise ZKO. Don't forget to go and like leave us a 5-star review. I think in America we have 26 reviews. In Canada we have 1. So of our 4 Canadian listeners, please go in, leave a review. If it'll let you. I've been trying. It will not let me. But also, I might have a conflict of interest. Tyler, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at unhinged, which is spelled similarly to unhinged, but instead of a G, you're going to put a T and a Z underneath or behind it.
And what about your business page? You want to go follow you there too?
Oh yeah, unhinged. Yes, unhinged. So without the T and Z, unhinged athletes would be my training page. So we've got I've got all my athletes featured on there right now that I'm working with.
Perfect. Yeah, I just started following that the other day. That's awesome. Well, I think that's going to round us out, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler, please stay on for a little post show. And until then, we'll see you next Tuesday, everyone.